Suck our dick!
It just doesn't matter!
Suck our
It
dick!
just doesn't
Suck
matter!
our dick!
I tell you, it just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter!
Well, woman I love is named Ramona. She kinda looks like Tempest Storm, and she can dance like a little Egypt. She works down the snake farm. Snake farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake farm, it pretty much is snake farm. It's a reptile house, snake farm. Ramona's got a keen sense of humor. She got a tattoo down her arm. It's of a python eating a little mouse, wearing a sailor hat that says Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. I asked Ramona how come she works there. She says, well, it's got its charm. There's nothing to do in the winter now, then some kid gets bit at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. This is a sing-along. Really. It goes Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. It ain't exactly kumbaya, but being the music fog, it ought to be perfect. Help me now, be on TV. It said Snake Farm, just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Getting into it now. Well, Ramona likes malt liquor and a band from Wales that's called The Alarm. She said she cried when they broke up. She still plays the record at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Sometimes Ramona calls me up and says, come on down here, it's getting warm. And she runs everybody off, and we, it's the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Help me now. I said Snake Farm, just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Thank you very much.
Welcome to ClusterF. A flawless intro. Sorry you missed Trace. My flawless intro. I think it's like 2 days in a row I've been flawless. It took me 4 years.
I thought you were going to say 2 times in 4 years I've been
But
flawless.
it is.
Oh.
The last 2 days. First time it
Might be up to 3.
maybe. Aced it. Welcome to ClusterF. Fresh off a brand new episode of The Hang with Mike and Matt. Once again, the best one yet. It's amazing how we can keep topping ourselves. So that'll be available on Twitch as well as YouTube and Spotify later on today. Hot damn.
I heard he was wanting my lights.
Yeah, you're not going to get what you paid for them.
What? I'm going to get what I paid for him.
From who?
I thought Spice Boy wanted them.
I don't think he wants to give you what he wants to get a deal. You're selling them second hand. This is second hand.
It's $70 worth of lights if you do the math and add it up. I paid $5 for it,
Yeah.
and I want $10. Wouldn't that be?
He ain't gonna, he wanted to pay like $1.
Yeah, he
Like a yard sale, you know.
he don't care how much they're worth. He wants $1. He wants those lights for $1.
Like each pack $1.
So you could do what I did. You could bring them out, and then have a sledgehammer and smash them all right in front of him and say, "Shove your
Yeah.
dog, shove your dog."
I'm gonna do next time you do the hang. We'll start out with that.
Okay, so don't nobody see. He's not listening. So let's do that. We'll surprise him.
What a dick move! I'm gonna do it.
You just have your brief negotiation, and he's not gonna budge, and neither are you. And then he gets his. I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, that's a great one.
Got the Raz shitty song of the weekend. Thank you, Sean Raz. I thanked him at the meet and greet for all his work, for picking out the songs and coming up with a new deal. Karen of the Week, because the Karen of the Week is rapidly becoming my favorite segment.
Oh yeah, I
I
love
mean,
it.
that's like that's what I think people ever talk about. That listen to the show. Like, hey, that Karen today. It's like so good. So excellent job, Sean Raz. And you know what? Right now on the spot, I'm doubling your salary. That's how I am. You call me Elon Musk.
So nice.
$1. Doubling it right now, Sean.
I got a new segment I'm gonna start Monday. Dirtbag of the Week.
Oh, that'd be awesome too.
And it's just it could be anybody. There's
I thought it was one of your friends every week.
It could be one of my friends. It could be some guys all bashing up a cat behind a dumpster that week.
It could be
It
you.
could be it could be me. It could be
me.
It could be you. It could be Hitler.
Dirtbag of the Week. All right, we need to come up with a little. I'll come up with a little intro for that.
Oh, all right, nice. I was gonna do that.
I should, and I'll okay. That's what I got. I'll work on in the next week. The intro to Dirtbag of the Week, and Sean Raz's song deserves, and the Karen deserves an intro too. So I'll do a 3. And if I'm doing 3 intros, I'll make myself do it. Be motivated. Like all 3. If I can knock them out in an hour.
You can always add to it, Trace. If you got
2
something
hours?
to add to
all
it.
right, I'll
What
add
is
to
it?
it.
Sean Raz, the
Dirtbag of the Week.
Karen, Dirtbag of the Week, and I don't even know what that word I wrote. Sean Raz song. Okay, got him. Circled. Gonna happen next week.
Okay.
Well, next week that only gives me 3 days. Sometime next week. I'll get it done. God, it's what is it's okay? It's November 30th. What's up? The wrong camera or something?
Oh, I thought I was. Someone said,
Jumping
"Am
jacks.
I looking at a still pic of Mike?" But and then I thought it was all still, but no. You're moving.
Unless he could be frozen or we could be frozen. I don't know.
We're not frozen.
Nobody else is complaining.
We're not frozen. I thought we were. But my camera is zoomed way out.
I forgot what I was saying about it.
I don't know.
I was getting the hands out. I was like panicking. I thought
Sorry.
we were off
I
the
was
air.
reading that it was a still pic.
I mean, if you're on the air and you look, if you're hosting a radio show and you look across and your co-host is going like this,
like you were doing yesterday.
it's never good.
Your penis is out.
You were doing that on the hang. You kept doing it.
What was I doing?
You kept doing this.
Oh yeah. I don't,
Same thing.
I was just trying to determine if we were on TikTok. I mean, on ClusterF. Yeah, YouTube, ClusterF, YouTube. We went live on YouTube. We actually figured it out, Trace. We're live on YouTube right now. And once again, we did not promote it. We'll remember next time. Next week, we'll start promoting it. Now it's just out there. If you know, you know. That's kind of our motto here on ClusterF. If you know, you know. Don't spread the word. We're trying to keep this hush hush. It's our marketing strategy.
Sounds about right.
It's kind of fun though. I'd say, you can view it like all these people who have to listen to this just inane drivel in the morning. Hey, sorry about your luck. You're missing out. That's how I look at it. I'm very petty that way.
Penny ourselves out of the business.
Penny ourselves out of the business.
Do you think kids, like high school kids, sell weed still nowadays? Like just
No.
Only the really bad ones.
That's a good question.
Like I just seeing some of like I'm even to the point where I barely know any 18-year-olds in life. I just know some younger kids, and they just don't seem like they'd be about it, or even be hanging out with a kid who sold weed. And I'm wondering if they, now when you're 18 as a kid, you might be able to
You can just
get
go
your
get it.
license and
Yeah.
go get it.
I don't know if
legally.
I don't know if it's 21 or 18. Do you know, babe?
I thought it was 18.
It might be 18. And yeah, they just vape it up. That's what they're probably all doing now. The kids are doing the vape because they were brought up more with a vape mentality.
Yeah.
What do you got to roll
They're
it?
really trying to.
They're not going to roll a joint.
You think you could be 18 to buy that? I thought they were
think
at
so.
least trying to change the age.
I thought if you were sick enough, you could get it at like 12.
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, you should be able to get it in any form at any age if it's medicinal. I don't know. I don't know how medicinal weed is. Maybe the oil, whatever, the Rick Simpson oil or whatever, but I don't think like just smoking weed is really, other than maybe if it relaxes you or makes you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, how's it medicinal?
It's just maybe a little bit medicinal, and I was never really one of the huge fans of like legalize it because it's good for you. I was just like legalize it because
it's awesome.
I like to smoke weed. Like what is it? Alcohol's the complete opposite of medicinal, and it's legal. So this is
true.
has possibly some maybe good side effects to it. Why not legalize it?
It's one of the biggest cons of all time. I mean, right out there in your face. I mean, and they demonize it so people they hate weed, and it's like they used to say Ronald Reagan, it's the most addictive drug and the worst drug in the world, and they made it the Schedule 1, such an obvious con when nobody ever dies from weed. And cocaine, cocaine kills a lot of people. It's a Schedule 1. I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even know if cocaine is a Schedule 1.
No, it isn't. We
It
just
isn't,
went
'cause
over that.
That's right.
Only
heroin,
weed.
like
Only
heroin.
like weed and mushrooms. Anything like that could be good for you is a Schedule
Such
1.
a scam. Such an obvious scam.
I mean, you could get two guys in a different room, and one guy has to drink a whole bottle of vodka, and the other guy has to smoke a whole blunt to the face. And you go back in an hour and ask them how they feel. The one guy's gonna be like, "Man, I'm pretty fucking stoned right now, man. Like, I think I might be a little too high." And the other guy's just gonna be like, "You gonna fucking fight? You fucking falling out of his chair, rolling on the ground,
Or he might be dead.
He might be
If you
dead."
drink a whole bottle of vodka, you might be dead.
Yeah.
And that's
Not a good thing.
how preposterous. It's a lethal. Every time you buy a fifth of alcohol, you're purchasing a lethal dose. And they're like, fine with it. See, so that's what a bunch of bullshit that is. You could have a truckload of weed, and it's not a legal dose. Lethal dose. So that's how you know. We didn't see it. Actually, me and Bella, we watched Leo. The one you were talking about with the Bill Burr and Adam Sandler.
Yes.
I saw about maybe like 50% of it. It seemed it was pretty good what I saw.
Yeah.
And it didn't really bother me, his voice, like you said.
It would seem I heard it from the other room. They were playing it while I was laying down in the morning at like 9:00. And I just heard that voice coming from, and it was really annoying.
Was that Bill Burr?
No,
he's
Adam
saying
Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
His was more, wasn't it like
Yeah, like that.
And then the kids, wasn't it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I actually watched the movie, it didn't annoy me at all.
Because it made sense coming out of that mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it bothered me for like 10 seconds. But then I got into it. So that was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen it. It was good enough to watch twice, but when they try and watch it 3 times, I'm like, all right.
Well, they'll watch it forever. Bella will watch the same thing over and over and over again.
Lion King over and over and over.
I mean, and I'd get sucked into Lion King every time.
Yeah, I've
Every
seen Leo
time.
2 to 3 times. It just came out.
Yeah, I thought it was the guy who wrote it. I think it was written by Adam Sandler and Robert Smigel, who's the guy who used to do the cartoon shorts on Saturday Night Live when it used to be funny. He did some really good. Did you ever see the Ambiguously Gay Duo, Trace?
No, I don't think so.
You'll have to watch it.
Oh, I bet you couldn't do that. They can't do that anymore.
Yeah, they definitely wouldn't
And
do it now.
you know, Lorne Michaels, he probably wouldn't even allow that anymore.
Nope.
And he's the one that he was doing it. He was okay then.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's a crime fighting like Batman and Robin, and they were always everything they did was suggestively like when they one of them. Robin didn't fly, so he'd get on his back. You know, there was always some kind of pumping from behind going on, and it was ambiguous pumping. So that was a good one. So I thought Leo was pretty good. Pretty good.
Man, Robin always seemed to be like the most bitchiest sidekick in all of sidekicks ever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really many superheroes with a sidekick. And he was just like little bitch boy in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's like
in
a
underwear.
98-pound weakling.
In underwear.
Scrawny little and short, scrawny little kid with the body of like a 15-year-old
Yeah.
kid.
You should pull up a picture of the Ambiguously Gay Duo. I bet that would come up. That's a funny picture.
Absolutely. It was how do you spell ambiguous? See if I got it right.
That's a pretty good picture.
I got it.
Do it. Hit the enter button.
Okay, so here. This is a video. I don't think I can do a video. I have to have images.
Let's see a picture of these guys.
It's like this. It was all this stuff right here.
Gotcha.
And
Can you not? Oh, okay.
They got a pretty big.
That was the main
pretty big.
intro. It was like.
Oh, look at this!
Did they cut out the thing they were riding on? Was like a huge penis.
Sometimes he flies and sometimes he rides a giant penis. Here's their car. See, babe. Here's what you're talking about. So that's the Ambiguously Gay. It was good. It was really. That's back when SNL was funny, and challenged the edges of comedy. Terrible now.
And it'd always be something, like something gay, and they'd be like, "What?"
The guys say, "You guys are gay, aren't you?" And they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah. So he wrote it. So he helped write it. So he's obviously a funny guy. So it was pretty good. You know?
I liked it.
Oh yeah, Brandon and Randy dressed up like that one year.
Yeah, that was their costume at Halloween. I think they won. I'm pretty sure they won. So all night long they were forced to do ambiguously gay things, which is kind of fun. I wouldn't mind that.
Of course you would.
It's shocking.
That's fun. That's just
Really?
just nothing but fun. We're always talking about this Trace going to the moon, about whether it happened or not.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
I don't know. I don't think so.
This is supposedly Google AI. It says this is a video of Google AI says that the NASA moon landing was fake, but that the China probe that just got up there, like a year or two ago, it was real. I mean, who knows if it's true or not. This is them with Putin telling him. It says AI thinks almost everything in this photo is fake. And that's the U.S. stuff. And it says, meanwhile, it has no objection to this photo taken by a Chinese lunar rover.
They might just got to.
I mean, it could be all. I mean, this could be all fake.
Well, I mean,
they could be talking about something completely different.
But it's provable because Google AI, I guess everybody, it seems like everybody should be able to do that. Use Google AI to find and say, tell us if the moon landing was real or fake.
But maybe China, when they're making this picture, this fake moon landing, they go to AI and say, make us an AI, generated moon landing that won't be detected by AI, right?
I don't know if AI can do that. It's like thinking for itself.
And okay, I don't understand this AI, but the creators of AI, they created it. Wouldn't they be able to set parameters like AI, don't ever answer any question that says the moon landing was fake.
Yeah.
Couldn't they do that?
Yeah.
Can't you program? I don't know
Yes.
enough about computers, but it seems like they could.
Yeah.
And they'll control AI,
Yeah.
and people will go, "It's AI proven," and it's like that ain't proven shit. You know, it's basically hearsay.
Yeah.
Because
The only thing about the moon landing that seems like it definitely would be
real.
fake,
Oh, fake.
fake is that they can't, that they haven't gone back.
Can't get back.
And they can't seem to, they have to like retest everything to figure out how to get back safely. It's like, that just seems weird to me.
It seems
It is weird,
it's
right?
preposterous.
Pretty
It's
suspicious.
preposterous to me. I mean, but that technology, our technology is light years ahead
Yeah.
of Apollo rockets. Look how hard, like Elon Musk, to just, when he's testing them, they always blowing up. They're so, and then, he's totally cool with the blowing up. So, would they all blow up? How were we way ahead back then? None of ours blew up. I think one's got fire on the deal, on the launch pad, and the
Yeah.
guys died. I don't think any Apollos blew up trying to get out of the Earth's atmosphere. 100% success
I do
rate.
think
No,
a lot
you
of
mean the one with the teacher blew up?
No, that's not Apollo. That's space shuttle.
Oh, what's
Talking about going to the moon. We're talking
Yeah.
about going to the space shuttle and go to the moon.
I know.
what about what were you saying about so going up? I think a lot of Elon Musk's are
Supposed to blow up.
they're meant to come back down. And he's testing these rockets that are way more advanced that go up, and then they can come back down and self-land. And I think that's why more of them are blowing up, because they're more.
The self-land is always going to come back because it's the booster.
Yeah.
So that's just with the separation, not with the blowed up parts. That they're already coming landed.
Yeah.
I mean, the blowed up parts are up there, and the boosters have already landed. So
I don't know.
So it's because the people on the internet say Elon Musk is trying to tell us something. You can't penetrate.
You can't get out.
You can't get out. Nobody's ever gotten out.
I mean, now is it because we were just so? I mean, he would have like the same people working on it, the smartest people in the world hired, right? Or is it just we had for the NASA, they had way more smart people and way more resources?
And now we're really dumb. And they're saying that we've regressed so much in 60 years that we can't figure out the math equations they did in 1968.
Or
Is that
it was
what you're
fucking
saying?
fake.
Or
It's
it was
one of the
fake.
two.
Yeah, Putin says, after they tell him about that, he goes, interesting. Who knows? And and that could be, like you said, could be completely fake. The Chinese said, they got this whole, and he knows it's fake, and he's like, oh yeah, sure, you guys went to the moon. You don't know what's real. I think we need to go under the guise of everything is real for the show, because I'll find stuff for the show and I'll look at it once or twice, and then on the second try I'm like, wait a second, or else I'll go in the comments and everybody's like fake, fake, and I'm like, it was such a good clip. Let's just pretend it's real. And just
You
and
gotta
just
get
go
back
with-
to your roots
just
and look
go
up
with
more
it.
stories just about people missing their dicks and people with 2 dicks and stuff like that. Fuck all these new TikTok videos that fake you out all the time.
That's true.
Putin. I never believe anything with anybody speaking a different language. I mean, that's kind of stupid of me and ignorant,
Yeah.
maybe, to I see Putin talking in a different language and they're translating in words what he's saying. I'm like, I don't really know what he's saying. This could be completely wrong. I don't even watch those videos, and there's no way I'm going to be able to decipher this on my own.
I was going to say something, but you can't say something about a guy in Germany, but I can't say it. So we'll move along. That's what they used to say about a guy in Germany. They never let you know in the subtitles.
They never
So what he was saying.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just like raving like a madman. They never tell you what he's saying. Yeah. So just go ahead.
I was just going to say, I saw a thing that said the Tesla Cybertruck was coming. coming out like
Yeah.
tomorrow or something?
Today or tomorrow, yeah.
Have you seen a picture of that?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Been around for
forever.
years.
Is that the weird looking
I thought it was
thing?
already out.
Is
I've
it
seen
not
so
even
many.
a truck?
I don't even know about the capacity in the back in the bed of the. It doesn't
Yeah,
even
it
look like,
looks-
doesn't even look like it has a bed.
It might not.
It, like
It doesn't
it's
look-
like it has
it just
like a
looks
Hummer.
like
It
a-
could
kinda
be a
deal.
fucking battery for it. It's the bed.
What?
Giant. I'm saying a battery is probably the bed. It's so giant.
I mean, it doesn't look like, it's just, I think it's
Oh, there we go.
horrible looking.
Here we go.
Oh, it does have a nice
It does
bed.
have a
What?
bed. So it's just disguised to kind of look like it doesn't have a bed. You can't see the bed.
Yeah.
When the
So confused then.
Why are
see,
you
like,
confused?
Well, like when you see it like
Because
this.
the pictures I look,
Well, see, does that look like it has a bed?
No.
See, but that's that everything behind this triangle is the bed. It's
Okay.
just it's camouflaged. Just so that's.
I don't know how I feel about
Is
it.
that-
It's supposedly bulletproof.
I heard that too.
I've
But
seen
you
it.
never know.
Joe Rogan shot it with a
Well, it's
compound bow.
That was an AI Joe Rogan.
how would he
Compound
get
bow.
it?
That doesn't mean it's bulletproof, does it?
No,
It's arrow-proof.
but
Thank
arrows
God.
are,
Thank God. We had that attack when we drove through the canyon and we're arrow-proof. Arrow-proof.
arrowproof, bulletproof. I've seen it shot before.
I wonder what the price is. I think they're going to reveal the price.
$1 billion.
In this day and age, I mean, you can't get a pickup truck. If you want any kind of extra features to make it nice, it's going to be probably 80 grand or 90 grand, right?
Yeah.
And that's so. How much is this thing?
I don't know. There's a bunch of. They said they just went crazy with it, putting all these features in it. Like it's got an air filtration system that would like get you through like smoke and like possibly like toxic fumes
I
and
don't
stuff
think
like
they
that.
can do that already.
It's a goddamn lie.
Yeah.
And then you'll have videos of guys choking to death, going, "It doesn't work." They lied.
I mean, how much would something like that be? That'd be like a military type.
I don't think it's
vehicle.
super good for off-roading or being a truck. I've seen, it'll pull another truck
Yeah.
on the concrete maybe, but I think it's just it's too heavy. They haven't figured out. They haven't mastered the battery-powered cars. They haven't mastered the battery-powered anything. It's too bulky of a battery, and it doesn't last long. And if you want it to last long, it's got to weigh 5,000 pounds. I think that truck weighs 6,000 pounds. How much did I thought a normal truck weighed like 4,000 to 5,000 pounds.
I think so.
I think so. So it's a lot, a good 1,500 pounds heavier than your normal like F-150 maybe.
So it's basically just for show.
A little bit.
So how long have Teslas been out? 5 years?
10
Has
years?
no, has it been 10 years? I mean,
8 years, I'd say.
you'd think by now that people, if they were were real lemons that didn't last and had such problems before 8 years, or
You hear something,
that
but
you'd hear
there's
a lot.
not that many of them. But
Maybe the other guys going, nobody's talking about,
just like how you said the government or something, they don't care if word gets out about something that doesn't really spread.
Well,
unless the media gets
Unless
a
the
hold
media
of it.
takes-
So
yeah.
having Teslas, there's not, what's the percentage of the population that has a Tesla?
Well, like 5, 6.
not much.
Whenever they came out till like 2 years ago, you saw a Tesla. You're like, oh look, there's a Tesla.
Yeah.
Now the past 2 years is
They're
when
everywhere.
it's just like almost it's like 10% of the cars are Teslas.
They're everywhere. Maybe you go on like Facebook or I don't know Reddit or whatever and and look for Tesla sucks groups, like people who
Yeah.
have problems with their Teslas, and see if there's a silent group, bunch of people are like, we're trying to get the word out, but nobody, because Tesla's an advertiser.
Yeah.
News ain't gonna pick it up.
Maybe so.
It could be.
Big
Any-
Kahuna's F-150 weighs 5,500 pounds, and VW Rick's Suburban weighs 6,000. So
Yeah.
1,000 pounds.
It just looks like maybe it's a little bit smaller of a truck. Not a huge truck for 6,000 pounds.
Man, you'd think, after about 100 years of cars, we would have figured out how to make a car that didn't have to weigh 6,000 pounds.
yeah,
unless you're a heavy duty work truck. You know,
Yeah.
there's a reason for it. But your average, sedan or whatever, why doesn't it weigh like 800 pounds?
Yeah, because we're not making any advancements.
Because you could never make up, because all those cars get crushed because the old cars are still on the road. That's what it is.
Everything I hear is these cars aren't even environmentally friendly because of the battery. And, like, what do you do when you're done with the battery? And just like the 10,000 slaves that had to find the lithium to make your battery.
Oh, well, I mean, they'll cross that battery bridge when they come to it. Right now, it's it's the hip in thing.
I mean, I've never seen such motivated. I don't think they're slaves. I think they're just, they're digging. There's children and parents and everything down in a hole digging for lithium. And they, when they working up, I've seen them open up like the lithium plant, and just everybody is excited, just sprinting towards the lithium mine. And that can't be good, right? Like, nobody's that excited about their job.
About their menial life,
I think
life
they
or death threatening job.
I think it's, I gotta find the lithium or my family's gonna die. I gotta be the first one there.
Yeah.
Get that lit.
So, it's still not right. It's still not right. Because they could probably afford to make it safer, but they ain't, because they don't have to. Because they're running, because like you said, they can't wait to work. So they don't have to give them nothing. They give them the bare minimum to make them really want it, which is, a lot, because they ain't got nothing.
Lithium incented.
Nobody can. Everybody's got an iPhone. They don't care who makes it. They don't care if it's teenagers or young kids in China. They don't care. What are you going to do?
Fuck.
Slavery's been around for forever, and it'll be around forever. So as far as I can tell, I think it's going to make a comeback. Is what I think it's making a comeback.
Do you?
All over the globe. People are fixing to get enslaved.
Yeah, slavery's making a comeback. I can feel it.
And it, might not even necessarily, it's like it is in China. I mean, they're getting paid slave wages. There's a reason why they call it slave wages. It's because you're really a slave. They give you just enough to where you have to do it.
I mean,
or else you'll starve.
Everybody, is already a little bit enslaved. You just don't even notice. In America, I mean, you work for, back when they had real slaves, they still gave them shelter and shit. So just because people live in a house, they're still working all day.
I don't know what you're saying, buddy.
It's just, it is slavery. We're, a little bit.
What we do?
Yeah,
it's
slavery with more steps.
It's a way more comfortable deal. You still have to work till almost the day you die, but they'll give you a little pittance at the end, and not too
Poison
bad.
you
It's
with
not
food.
too bad. Yeah, they give you a lot of trinkets and distractions and bells and whistles to play with your whole time. You don't even hardly notice you're a slave.
It's not too bad.
Here's a few of the 12 problems of Tesla that nobody talks about. I don't know. It just says poor build quality. They say they're built poor. Expensive maintenance. Power steering failures. Privacy.
It's not good on a 6,000-pound truck.
Yeah. Privacy may be an issue because they got all
They
the
got everything. You're connected to Tesla, I would imagine.
blind spot detection. I don't know what that one means. Replacing old batteries is a hassle. No Tesla dealerships. Where did they get the cars from? They just meet you in the street somewhere?
Order it online.
I think there are Tesla. There are. I'm sure there has to be. Didn't Drew work at one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Work for. I think a new battery in a Tesla is like $20,000.
I think it is. It's like 16 or 20 grand.
Well, this one says
They're supposed to last a long time.
if you had to buy a new battery for a Model 3, the base cost would be around $9,500. That's the low end, and the extended range battery would come close to $16,000, which is sadly the cost of a good used car.
I mean, not anymore, but 16,000. Imagine you want to get you don't want not going to get one. They have to charge a lot more because that's probably the biggest pain in the ass. So you get the extended. You got to get the 16K.
I saw a picture. Like, what do people do that live like in New York or places where they have row houses? You can't have a or an apartment. How do you charge your car overnight in an apartment complex? It showed someone with like from a third story with extension cords going out the window to charge a car down on the street where you have to park in the street and stuff. You can't live in an apartment complex and have one. You have to have.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some of the brand new, they probably have charging stations, at the brand new ones.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I think I've seen it, but that's for they're not, they haven't planned on how many people are going to get Teslas.
Yeah.
They're going to be overwhelmed, and then if you have an old apartment complex.
How do you charge your car?
You don't.
Yeah.
Good luck getting the management at an apartment complex to do anything. You're jumping through that red tape bureaucracy. It take you 2 years to get your charging station put in.
Or even, even if you live in a different kind of housing, everybody doesn't have this kind of housing, like a development or whatever, where you have your own house. A lot of people in bigger cities like New York live in,
Well, I think if you
row
can't
houses.
afford,
you have to park up on the street.
Well, that's what
a
I'm
Tesla's
saying.
like
Maybe not.
$70,000.
Well,
Like I
you
think
might
if
not live
you
at
can't
an
afford a
apartment.
house, you can't afford a Tesla.
Well, I'm saying you might not live in an apartment, but some houses are different than
I live in a row house.
Yeah.
And like, even growing up, you'd see movies where people were in New York and they'd be like, oh, I was trying to find a space to get home. So they had to, find a space, on the street to park to get home. They couldn't. So they could just have charging
have a
stations on
Tesla.
the street.
I don't think
Like those aren't going to get vandalized.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks like this truck would have a lot of blind spots.
it does with all that.
It looks like that. Doesn't that look like a crazy amount of blind spots? I
Little
could
bit.
be wrong. Maybe that's more. Maybe it's a better view. I don't know. Looks like a lot of blind spots to me. All trucks have considerable blind spots.
Yeah. I drive one for free. I want, all these Teslas, they say they go, have an insane get up and go
Yeah.
with the electric motors,
Yeah.
like, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, which, it was unheard of unless you get like a Lamborghini back in the day.
I mean, they got videos of Tesla smoking almost every car.
Yeah. So I did, I just want to drive a Tesla for like one day and see what it's about. I have a lot of opinions on them, but I'm too poor to have ever driven one to have, a real opinion on them.
Yeah. I've never driven an electric car either.
It says the cold weather hurts the batteries. Still no true self-driving. Awful door handles. I've heard that.
Well, there's no real price on it.
Generic
Says
designs.
here's how much Tesla could cost, allegedly. They announced the vehicle would start at $39,000,
No.
and then they raised it to $50,000. But they think it's going to be even more than that.
You could have told you that.
So it's likely to be in the $60,000 to $80,000 range. That's that's what I figured.
Yeah. I mean, I thought they'd
Probably-
be more.
Probably 70 to 80. I was thinking.
Probably all in all
but
cost you
and- and
$100,000.
well, yeah, you know how it goes at 60. Oh, you can get a Cybertruck for 60, and they.
It doesn't come with wheels. But
Yeah, they don't even have that. If you ever gone to a car dealership and said, "I want that model you advertise for $39 a month," and they're like, "Well, we don't have that, but," and
Yeah.
it's twice as much.
Yeah.
It's just a sucker deal. So I think the $60,000 truck doesn't even exist, and nobody's going to get one anyway. If you're going to get a Tesla, you want all the bells and whistles.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that green, so you're just getting a Tesla to show off that you got some money.
That's all. That's what people get them for. D. Swanee says EVs are a massive strain on the planet for raw materials between making them and the civil infrastructure needed to create and support them. Plus, they are connected to a central server and can be disabled by the push of a button. They create more dependency.
So it seems like there's a lot of negatives, but there should. Why? See, this is the day and age where there should be some kind of discussion in the public forum and the press, and we should weigh the negatives of electric cars versus the positives, and they should be able to come out and definitively say, actually, they're worse for the planet, or no, they are better for the planet.
Yeah.
But
You're going to get both sides.
You're going to get both fucking sides.
Everything has you know.
You could say all that shit to a Tesla guy, and he would have a rebut for everything you said.
Yeah, you could never
And,
get the truth.
You know, and I probably lean to they're bad for the planet, but I don't know.
I'm more worried about the other shit. You know, I heard somebody saying, you know, they're gonna start making them to where, you know, you do something illegal and you get in your Tesla, the fucking door's locked and it takes you to jail.
Yeah, that could easily happen. There, like
I think that's what they're going for, almost. You know,
there was a federal raid on somebody's house. I mean, I can't remember. He might have even been swatted or whatever. But the cops had the code. They contacted the code company,
Yeah.
you know, for the door code, and the door code, fucking gave it to them. So don't think that they can't shut your,
I thought it
shut
was
your
a
electric
safe.
car off. No, that maybe something else. But this one was the cop. You know, he's got his rifle out and he punches the code and opens the door,
man,
front door.
that's not even much of a, you know, all this stuff they're watching you on, like the Ring cameras and all that. That's just a simple door code.
Yeah.
They know they can get everything.
And they had on the news last night about the e-bikes are the, you know, like a big Christmas gift. Everybody wanting the e-bikes. I think that's a whole other thing about, you know, people just think it's cool. That's all it is. Because when I see an e-bike and someone riding an e-bike, the only thing I'm thinking is those are great for if you have a DUI. And that's about it.
There's two.
They
there's
took the-
To get to work.
Yeah, come. I know a little more about
yeah.
it than you.
But
e-bike,
he's gonna school you, babe. Oh.
like they're for two different type of people. There's people, you know, there's
People that think they're
rich,
cool.
there's rich people or people with a decent amount of money and want to seem cool and they buy one
Yeah.
and they drive around a little bit. And then there's, you know, people that drive them to work a lot. Lauren said every single prep guy they have at Miller's drives an e-bike to work and doesn't have a car.
Wow.
I mean, maybe
How do
because
they not
they're
die?
okay. So it's maybe because they're cheaper than a car, so
Way
you can buy a
cheaper.
car. You know, the
That's
last
what it
couple
is.
days, I wouldn't want to be riding it. Cold
Yeah.
as fuck.
But
But
can you
I-
imagine going to work where Lauren works and not getting killed on an e-bike?
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
they will be now more
that-
because people used to buy. You know, I could see people would ride their bikes to work, but that was to get exercise. That's what the other thing I was going to say. The only good thing about bikes is that you were getting exercise.
they took
and
the
they
exercise,
took the exercise
out
right
of
out of it.
bikes.
Yeah, but I mean, if they go 20, 25 miles an hour and you're just trying to get to work, you're not
No,
trying
I'm
to.
not
I'm
saying,
saying-
if you're using it to get to work, it's great. I just don't understand. Like, you know, the last thing America needs is less exercise.
Most people are not using them just to get to work. Most
Yeah, I
people
think
that
that's what their
have
main
them,
reason
No.
for them is to get to work.
I think majority are just tooling around their neighborhood.
Yeah, I see people just.
I'm sure there's a
riding
lot of
around.
people that use them to get to work, but there's a shit ton of people who use them instead of bikes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot. But she's saying I'm thinking most people use them to get to work and stuff. It's a
No.
cheap.
I
mean,
don't know.
imagine.
I don't
It's-
think
it's-
most people are riding them to work.
I'm telling you,
Most
there's.
of the people I see are tooling around.
All right, well,
I mean,
don't-
that's not worth arguing about because neither one of
Yeah.
us knows.
I do know.
I bet
I'm
I bet a lot of people. Well, that's maybe that's just prep cooks too. It only young white males are using them to get to work at their fast food jobs, and then everybody else is just tooling them. The husband and the wife, have one and they tool around.
They were talking about them on the news last night about everybody wants them. Everybody's kids want them, so they're not using them to get
Yeah,
to work.
I'm
using
just saying,
them.
a lot of people do.
now the kids you can't even get kids to push pedals anymore.
Yeah.
I
And
never
people
thought
think, well, it'll show that we have money, so I'm going to get my kid one. I don't care if anyone gets any, the exercise out of it, or they're just buying them because they think they're cool.
And imagine the accidents with e-bikes and
Yeah,
kids.
That's what I'm wondering.
Your bike, doesn't. You have to really pedal like a mofo to get your bike going as a kid, and a kid's bike to get it going, fast enough to break your skull open.
Yeah.
But these e-bikes, and you're probably not as good at biking because you didn't even learn to do a real bike.
Right?
You're like, I don't know.
Because
I wouldn't get my kid an e-bike. Man, pedal your goddamn bike in the street like I did and my kids did, and their kids are. Well, if you had the street in front of you. Your
Well-
kids need to learn how to ride bikes. That's
I
tough.
rode dirt bikes. I didn't do bicycles too much.
He'll have to take
We
him.
all had
We'll have to
bikes.
take him to the well fields to teach him.
Yeah,
'Cause
I've taken him a couple times, but in a wagon behind the bike. That was just like my worst ideas ever, man. Like it just seemed like it was. I'm just towing a wagon behind with 2 little kids in it, and I was just like, I got like halfway to the little lake thing I was trying to show him, and I'm just like, oh, and I got there, and I'm like, how am I gonna get back?
It's a lot longer than it seems. It's like a mile. It's like a mile, and if you're doing something like that, it's arduous.
What's up,
I was
crazy
just
horse?
in first gear, going like
Oh,
a quarter
why?
mile an hour the
My-
rest of the whole way back.
My bike was never the same. Don't use none. Don't
Yep.
use none of
I
my
went-
mechanical stuff.
I went in a neighborhood the other day, and I must have seen 5 kids zooming around on like electric scooters.
Yeah,
And
zooming
I
around.
thought, man, they're gonna be accidents on those all the time too. I bet, because some of them were pretty young kids.
She's borderline Karen. Right?
No, I'm just saying that I can see, the hoverboard, everything.
Yeah, I mean, the hoverboards
they
turned
ride
into a
that are
giant accident deal.
motorized. These are kids riding these motorized things, and I thought, man, they're zooming around. I bet some of them will zoom in from in front of a car, or and some of the kids were not. There was mostly teenagers, but there was a couple that were like, I think that kid's about 10. I don't know if they should be driving a motorized.
Make them kids
anything.
pedal. Make them pedal.
Yeah,
That's what they got to do.
but the only way.
10-year-old don't need no motorized vehicle. Make them pedal.
I disagree thoroughly,
Well, you're.
especially out in the.
I mean,
where
if
live.
look like we got you dirt bikes, and you also had a bike. If you're going on the street, you used your bike. If you're gonna ride around here on the property, you were on your dirt bike.
Yeah, I'm just we don't. I'd like to go biking more. Real
biking.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
bicycling.
Man, we used to go all the time out.
Yeah.
All the time out to the work because you can take your car right to the entrance.
Yeah.
and then you could bike, and they got the little station with water station. It's kind of a dam thing where they control Cypress Creek, and there was usually a gator that lives in the one
Yeah.
lagoon there. That's cool, and you see fish and turtles.
Sometimes some hogs and
Some
deer.
see deer, hogs, wild turkeys. One bobcat, brief bobcat sighting the entire time we were there. What's that? What? Oh, it's gone. But, it's kind of cool. I mean, we used to do that all the time. That was a great time. Weston imitate the alligators and get them to call back to him.
I think they were the frogs.
Except they were frogs.
I think they were the
Might have
frogs.
been
We
the
always
frog.
thought they were the gators, but
It was cool anyway. Yeah, so get your kid a real bike. Take him biking. Like a real kid. I bet I can imagine the kids growing up today that don't even know how to ride a bike. And they're not because they're like in New York City and they live in a high rise, They're just in the regular streets and
I think you'd
they
be
never
more-
got a bike.
I mean, my kids they can barely ride bikes without training. They've always rode bikes with training wheels, we only go like once, maybe twice a month, go bike riding.
Yeah.
But it just never been enough for them to really get into it and be like, oh, I want to try without training wheels. Harper can stay up on it and drive
Yeah.
it. It's just like, unless she has to like turn or she can go straight forever.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know. It's not a good place to. I mean, I guess you could teach her out in the pasture. So when she falls, because you're gonna fall.
Yeah, you're
It's
gonna fall.
All right, let's take a quick break. Mike and Jerry show coming up at 11, I believe. Jerry texted me yesterday, so we'll be right back with more ClusterF.
ClusterF will be right back. Please enjoy a tasty selection from the world's greatest parody artist, / voiceover guy, / raconteur, / it's not about me. ClusterF will be right back.
You know the guy that had to do that is like, you sure you want me to do this, man?
No, I would believe it if he was the son of that guy that was interviewed.
I wouldn't doubt if he did that tattoo himself.
It would have been great.
In the mirror.
He should have done a reverse image and done one on each side for eyebrows.
Might as well. You
Let's
know.
go get tattoos tonight. I got a great idea. Everybody
That's-
says I don't have eyebrows anyway.
That's one of the best tattoos I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Do you think the tattoo artist tried to talk him out
That's
of that?
what Brandon said. Did he?
No.
Was he like, "Are you sure you want me to do this?" He probably just did it.
That's
Oh, I really enjoy that.
he really
Slap.
filled it in dark too. He ain't getting rid of that thing.
Yeah. Do you think the
Oh,
tattoo
my
artist was laughing while he was doing it? Like,
He's like, yeah.
Jesus.
that's Adam Sandler right there.
Love
looks
to
like-
eat turkey. Love to smoke meth.
I can't believe what it says he did, though.
This guy
Domestic battery by strangulation. He
No.
doesn't look like somebody
On
that
himself.
Would do that.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. This is a whole world out there
Yeah.
of these kind of
When you
people.
look at these,
and we're getting
man, it's
more
like,
and
whew.
more and more every day.
These are the people you pass at the store, you know, at 7-Eleven.
This guy's
or,
got strong hair.
He has a thing of hairspray in his butt.
man,
He's
flowing,
not real-
flowing mane, thick
Yes,
black hair,
thick-ass hair.
like a horse hair,
He smuggled in hairspray.
Look at
I'm
this.
telling you.
and his piercing eyes. He's a real.
Jeez.
Look at this. We saw him
Todd's
already.
brother.
God, his name's Billy Hilljack. I mean, what? Oh, this guy.
This guy's sad.
Oh my God! Somebody feed him and give him water.
He is dead by
Look at his
suicide.
neck. Look at that. It's all like sucked in.
He's, I mean, I didn't know you had that many bones in your neck. My God, what
They
the
need to water
He's
him.
got extra neck bones.
he needs to be watered.
Oh, God.
She's totally methed out. Look, man. Okay, yeah.
Translucent.
I'm ready for the cat research. Let's just get it done.
He's almost the same color as the background. He's like translucent.
I think I can see through it.
This has to be a weekly feature.
now you see why I look at this stuff.
You sure you
That's
want
a
that?
hot butterfly right there.
I got the perfect stencil for your titty.
Oh, my God. Oh, come on, my butterfly.
Do you think they made her take another one?
I think they throw that in like every 10th picture just to get you to laugh.
I think they left it because that's how she always looks.
Can you make it? Can you force
Oh my
hold their
God.
hands down while you take the picture?
Oh my God.
Because you can keep telling her, and that doesn't mean she's going to listen to you, right?
Look, we got a semi-normal person.
Oh no, he raped somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
He's got no soul.
sociopath eyes for sure.
Roofie to drink.
Yeah, what's up, SA?
No.
Guilty.
Charged with cocaine possession. Man, he was doing.
He was carrying him in his nose.
Look at that, man. I mean, he was.
They were like, let us see up your nose.
It was charged. He was charged.
He's
with
clean. No
hogging-
cocaine.
Hogging up the cocaine. Man, don't let Raphael go first, man.
I know what I'm going to be doing after
Oh,
the show
no,
tonight.
what?
Holy.
What the hell
Yeah,
happened
how
there?
about that guy?
His dad praised violence.
Charged with exposure of sexual organ.
Man, he's got two black
What?
eyes.
That's actually poop on his face.
Oh, Jesus God.
What charge is that?
Charged with exposure of sexual organs.
What is that?
indecent
What is
exposure. He's
Whipping out your
exposing
dick.
himself
Dig out your
somewhere.
dick.
Or showing his butthole to people.
That'd be
John, you know what a sexual
showed his-
organ is, right?
that? My mind went straight to like organ trafficking for like some kind of sexual reason. I was trying to put that together.
Sexual reasons and organ trafficking.
John's got a
He
deep.
had a big old bag of dicks.
Man caught at the airport with 10 dicks.
Oh, he doesn't have a girlfriend in South America. He's selling dicks.
Trafficking bags of dicks.
Chinese eat American penis to really get their sex drive.
I mean,
This guy showed his butthole to the wrong person.
that's scabs.
It looks like it.
Scabs.
I mean,
They have an epileptic priest on Ash Wednesday. I don't, what the fuck is going?
how'd that scab over so quickly?
I know.
Before they got that mug shot.
Okay, I think we're. Jim Carrey is a young thug.
That's like Dumb and Dumber haircut. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's a young guy.
I mean, is that what he's going for?
I
He's
feel
going-
like his head is big, like mushrooms out.
Actually, his mother did that, and then if you look at the charges, he killed his mother.
discharging a machine gun with damage.
Wow. Jeez.
I mean, he's definitely going for the Dumb and Dumber, right? I mean,
How,
gotta be.
how bad does a
Oh,
machine gun
Jesus
kick
God.
back?
Sexual
Does it?
battery, rape, anal, oral, victim,
What?
over 12. No,
Under
right?
12 over.
Victim under 12. That looks
think-
over
12 plus, under
12.
18.
of 18 plus mug shots.
I can't see.
Yeah, that's.
Man, they're
I mean,
just,
when I saw that, I was like, he's probably a pedophile. Oh, this guy's gonna kick my ass right
Yeah.
now.
This guy was a former MMA and porn star.
Look at those ears. What's up with those ears?
Well, he was in a different type of porn where they used to
God.
use those. They used to use
Earstretchers.com.
those as handles.
It's for this guy's the anti. Look, did they give him special lighting?
Right?
He said, "I must have candles for my mug shots."
That's like,
Carries his own mugshot around.
that's like the real Jesus right there.
What's his charges?
It doesn't.
The real
I think I have to
Jesus.
go to this to see him. I'm gonna go to that to see him.
You just went to the jail for a photo shoot.
We're just gonna be hacked
Oh,
now.
where is he? Where is he? There he is.
No, no.
He's in
you're
art.
go-
He's
Should I
actually
go
View
to him?
charges.
No, you're gonna
No,
you're
right
gonna
there.
go too deep.
Oh, look.
See if it says anything.
Oh, here we
You're
go.
going down a rabbit hole.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
Trespass on property.
It was Jesus.
That's no fun.
He just came down from
That
heaven.
doesn't seem like. I mean,
He
the-
walked across the
I
lake.
mean, yeah, he was walking on water without a license.
Welcome to 2022, Jesus.
I mean, look at that guy.
He was moonwalking across the water.
I would pay for that picture and hang it on my wall.
I think I have a candle I got at Winn-Dixie with that picture on it.
Talk about a conversation starter. You hang that in your living room, and people are like, "Who's that?" And you go, "Well, let me tell you that.
Jesus. Just say Jesus.
It's the Chinese Jesus."
Welcome back to ClusterF. If this really is ClusterF, and not some devious undercover government operation to expose cool people who fucking get it, so they can be subsequently re-educated. Carry on, comrades.
Lingerer, man.
Yeah, totally.
Welcome back to
Welcome back to ClusterF. Net in your head. God damn. Tomorrow morning? Is it Thursday already? Tomorrow morning, 7:45. Net in your head. That's December 1st. Might be breaking out some Christmas stuff already. As soon as it hits December. I believe he's got a new idea. I don't know if he can finish it in time. He's got a couple new ideas for tomorrow. Net in your head, 7:45. New Christmas song, maybe. New Doja Cat parody, maybe. Ned better vape it up. Kick it into gear. Brand new Hang. The Hang. Brand new episode. Stellar episode. Stellar goddamn episode. Be up on YouTube afternoon today. Also, Spotify. The Hang. Look up The Hang on Spotify or ClusterF Show YouTube page. It's also on Twitch. Coming up afternoon. You gotta wait for it. Getting the kid ready for school. I hate getting kids up for school. I hated that. I always hated getting the kids up for school. It's like, man, I know when I was a kid, the worst thing in the world is when your parents wake you up to go to school.
It's the
like,
worst.
And you know, I didn't hate so much school. I mean, once I got to school, I was generally, not a big deal. But God, I hated getting up and going to school. The thought of school and getting up in the morning and walking in, I hated all of it.
It was just the waking up and the work. You know, you got an easy class where you're not doing that much work today. You're just like, all right, whatever. I got to go to math, and the teacher's going to stand up and teach some stuff, but you don't really have to do anything. You just got to pretend like you're listening to her, maybe do a problem or two.
I did good up until 11th grade when I hit chemistry, and then I was just like, yep. I'm not interested in even learning that shit. I liked, science and biology and this, I was fine in geometry and all this stuff. And then I started hitting calculus and chemistry. And I was like, academics is not going to be my strong suit. I'm more in the arts. Man, what's the deal with the neck bones in the fridge? Tracy's wanting to cook up some neck bones.
What's the deal with that?
I bought them for the dogs.
Oh, for the dog.
Pork neck bones. They're cheaper than treats now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
They're way cheap. Those treats are expensive. So we're going.
They'll chew on those things forever.
Yeah, she's gonna go cook them up some neck bones.
Mm-hmm.
They will go nuts for those neck bones.
I figured you got them for me and Lauren.
You would have been so happy.
I can get you some if you want them.
I do.
I played that mugshot break we did on the bar show many months ago.
Yeah.
God, it's so funny. It's so funny.
What mugshot?
Us talking about the mugshot. It's like 9 minutes of us breaking down the mug. Oh, it's so good. It's so funny. I just sat in here and listened to it instead of walking around stretching my legs. It's really really funny. Have you heard the NBA story about the NBA player?
Nope.
No.
He's charged with what do they call it? Hang on, I got to come up here.
I don't know, but I was wondering, about the hockey player. You never hear anything about him that got arrested. Well, I just talk about that while you were finding your NBA thing.
I don't know if you heard about it. Josh Giddey, he plays for the Oklahoma Thunder, NBA, big time. It's big time NBA. And he's been having accusations of an inappropriate relationship with a teenage girl. And then it says here, yesterday says, the Josh Giddey investigation, the alleged girl and her family are reportedly refusing to cooperate with authorities. And I think he's 23.
He's got a little bit of that look about him. I can see it a little in his face. They always do.
He's 23, and I think he's dating this teenager. And her parents seem to be okay with it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
how old?
I don't know how old she is. It's like, it's like 23-17 is very close to Romeo Juliet.
That's 6 years though.
Yeah, but when you're 23, you don't really. If you're 23 looking at a 17-year-old, you're looking at it. To me, because I'm a normal person, I don't know. To me, I'm looking at a woman. I'm not looking at a child. If I was,
when you're 23,
if I was 23 and I saw a really cute girl and she was 17 at a party, I don't know if I would not go up and talk to her and try to get her to go out with her. And it's not, and you don't know she's 17. She just maybe looks younger than you. I don't know. I'd have to know all the details. I think these cases should always be judged on their own merits. And if the girl's like, he's my boyfriend.
Well, I'm thinking it's weirder than this, because I think it's, if the parents are okay with it, 23 and 16 is legal. So
I think so.
So she must be 15, and that's fucking weird.
Then you're getting
Now you're really getting.
But at 23, what do you got to go out with a 16-year-old for?
That's what I say. You got to know that, maybe he met her somewhere,
Unless you grew up on the same block and you knew each other, or, that
like,
kind of- Otherwise, you're just...
But are you, or if you meet somebody somewhere, are you checking IDs? Maybe she said she was 19. I don't know. So you can't just judge every case. I mean, because you don't know, or maybe the parents got paid off. There's a lot of money on him. Not it's bad for the NBA. It's bad for him. And and that's some deep top pockets. They may have paid him off, or maybe the parents are like, it's just. Yeah, that's her boyfriend.
Then who's bringing charges?
The state, I think.
Oh, really?
They can, if domestic battery and stuff, they can bring charges with nobody, I think.
Yeah.
So, but if they're not cooperating, then I don't think they got a case.
Crystal Gale says, I've always said if you're a 23-year-old and can't find someone your age, you're a fucking weirdo. Well, maybe. Ray said he looks like one.
I can see a tinge of it. Now, me and Lauren went on a farmer's market adventure yesterday.
What is that?
We just we went out to ABC Pizza, I think it was. I think they got Greek food or whatever.
Yeah, it's ABC Pizza.
And I just didn't. I just thought ABC. I was thinking it's the same as CC's Pizza, like a pizza buffet type deal. I didn't know it was like a Greek place. Yeah. And we went there. It was pretty good, and it was cheap. I got it said teeny sandwich and soup.
Teeny sandwich.
And soup for $7.
Was it a teeny sandwich?
It came out and it was like a normal size sandwich and a big old bowl of soup for $7.
Somebody must have complained about the size of the sandwich sometime. It's like, all right, we'll just advertise it as a teeny sandwich. $7 ain't bad.
Yeah, and I was super
they
full.
usually ABC's a weird chain because there's not many of them.
Yeah.
There used to be one on Hillsborough Avenue. There was one.
I think that one's still there. There used to be one over on Fletcher.
Yep.
And then there's one out in Land O'Lakes. You probably go by it all the time.
They're always good. The pizza was good.
Be one out
Greek,
here.
We used to get, me and Donna used to get the Greek salads. The really good Greek salads. So, but I don't know what this weird small Greek franchise pizza place is all about. But they all have the same kind of menu and food. It's all good.
Yeah, I looked at that and I was like, oh, that's a good deal. I should get that. And I'm like, what are you getting, Lauren? She's like, the $16 gyro and 2 appetizers. I'm like, drive me fucking crazy.
Sorry about your luck, pal.
What were your 2 appetizers?
No, I don't even buy. There was like some type of she got
baklava,
like potato salad, like Greek potato salad or something. That was pretty good. And then I don't know, some other thing full of like spinach, like a croissant full of spinach or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, that sounds good.
Their
too.
baklava was always good.
Yeah, they're what's the salad called? The Greek salad dressing. It seems like they make that dressing themselves. I don't know because it's really good.
What the
Greek salad dressing?
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
It's really good.
It was pretty good.
I want to go to ABC Pizza now. I might have one of their Greek salads because we've been getting the Greek salads from the Hungry Greek. Nah, it's not even close.
Yeah, it was definitely way more of like seemed like decent. Like they made the food kind of somewhat there a little bit.
Yeah.
It just not what I thought an ABC Pizza was going to be like. It just seemed like it just seems trashy to me. And I didn't even know what it was, and it's not. It's just what my perception of ABC Pizza has been my entire life.
Really? You've never went to the one out in Lindley?
I don't think so.
You know where it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was the inside, the furnishings, was it like looked like it were 30 years old?
No, it was pretty nice.
The one on Fletcher was very not modern.
Yeah.
But we went on a farmer's market adventure after that because we passed a farmer's market on the way back, and we were already talking about making a roast for dinner.
Yeah.
We saw the farmer's market, and we're talking about it for like an hour before we go. And I'm all hyped up, ready to go to this farmer's market and get some, it's, it was locally sourced meats and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get some nice local.
I didn't know they had meats at farmer's market.
Nice local, meats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what we need to
we
start
walk
shopping.
into this store, it's this big store, And I don't know if the guy had a problem with his cheek, or if he had an entire can of dip shoved in it, but it was out to here. And I was trying to look the whole time. I'm like, is that a big thing of dip, or is he used to dip and now he's got a giant cancer lump in there?
He's got a cheek goiter.
I mean, it was giant. And it's just like there's like 3 shelves in there with nothing on it, like just almost bare shelves.
Yeah.
You know, drinks. And then this big, giant, like the thing the meat's in at Publix or Winn-Dixie, the see-through shelving.
Yeah.
It's like 6 of those in the row that looked like they hadn't been on in about a year. And one was on, and it had one thing of ground beef in it.
I wouldn't have bought that.
No, we were like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. Like,
So what did they have for sale exactly?
it's like
Soda?
fucking nothing. Like,
Sounds like a horror movie where you got people in the back and you're lucky you got out of line.
Yeah, like
drinks.
some kind of deliverance. What city was this in?
They had drinks. There was, another one of those see-through things, and it had like a shitty looking salad in it.
Yeah.
Just one wrapped up in cellophane, and like there was like one sausage in a random place, and
That is weird.
it was trashy. So
Did he look like this, Trace?
that's kind of if that guy, if it looked more like there was a possibility that guy had, it looked like that.
this guy.
That's exactly almost what it looks like, except more pushed
Exactly,
out.
almost.
Well, it was his is
Even
droopy.
worse?
His is droopy. You can tell that's like a deformation, maybe,
Yeah.
or something wrong with him. This guy, you was like, it was almost that big, and you were like, but is it just a giant thing of dip in his mouth? You couldn't tell.
It probably was a cheek goiter.
It might have been a cheek
Cheek
goiter.
goiter.
Weston says we have one right by our house, and there's one in Zephyr Hills. Did you get? Was it there, or was it in Bushnell?
Well, I already went to Zephyr Hills to go to that dispensary. And then on the way back, we stopped, and then we were like, oh, well, this is so shitty. We wanted to go to farmer's market, so we started looking up farmer's market. Man, you get any type of meat market, farmer's market, it's just like not good. We went to a couple other ones, and the best we found was this one that had one cooler this big with a bunch of frozen different meats in it. We would add a thaw. We didn't have time for that. We already 12 o'clock, and we got to get this roast on.
The farmer's market on Boyette Road is good,
Do they have
but
meat?
they don't have meat.
See, they don't
They
have
have
meat.
eggs. Is about the
We gotta find a place to get local meat.
There's a butcher shop, a couple butcher shops. There's one by the feed store, and there's one right up here by the airport in that Grand Oaks Plaza. There's a butcher shop.
But does that necessarily mean they get their meat locally?
No, I haven't been in there.
You have to
so-
figure that out.
I'm having a slight panic attack right now
About what meat?
about my meat. We made that roast in the crock pot yesterday, and I turned it off before I went to bed. But I don't know if I took it off and put it in the fridge.
It's gonna spoil.
God, if it spoils, I'm gonna be devastated. It was so good.
You took it.
We cooked it, made it, and then there was half of it left. It was big roast, so we only ate half of it.
Yeah.
And if I left it out and it spoiled, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
Bummer. That's the worst when you gotta throw away something delicious.
Oh my god!
Like, damn.
I hope Lauren put it away.
Is she at home?
Yeah. But I would have sat out all night. Maybe it's cold enough in our house.
Cold
There
like
you
a
go.
Filthy Bastard says, speaking of the bar show, I would like to publicly apologize for my behavior in the chat on the bar show a few weeks back. I was extremely drunk and I overdid it. I have no memory of even joining. I apologize. I remember
Nice.
he was being...
Sometimes it happens. Been there.
I think you messaged him, didn't you, about... What,
Yeah,
what's up?
seemed out of character.
Yes.
Would I do something?
All right.
Completely understandable.
Oh yeah.
Apology
It
accepted.
happens.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Did you say, it said, I think Donna may have even said this. I don't know if it was you, babe. It says pro-Palestinian protesters, one carrying a swastika, swarm Midtown, New York in a bid to derail the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting. Were you saying something like they're going to burn that tree down or something? No, somebody
never
said
said
that. Somebody said, maybe it was me.
I thought you were going on a rhyming scheme with the pro-Palestinian protesters.
Something from Sesame Street.
But that's probably going to happen. Somebody's going to vandalize the tree. That's just where we are.
Our government, you mean?
Yeah, our government.
And make it look like
To
it
make
was
it-
somebody,
yeah,
whoever they want,
yeah.
whoever they're like. The
that-
narrative is that they want to say burned down the tree. They will say.
Exactly. They're going to rearrange the lights in the form of a swastika or something
Yeah.
on the tree. Something's
I
going to
mean,
happen.
it looks like it's set up on a stage to be burnt down
Yeah.
to create drama.
They got kindling underneath it. There's like, yeah, look at this. There's a can of lighter fluid right there.
Now, you don't even need it on a Christmas tree. A Christmas tree is the most flammable thing in the world. You shoot that thing with a bottle rocket, it's going up.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Does it? See, all the ones we burn, they're old and brittle.
Dry.
I mean, they just go up like a torch, a blow torch. But would a green Christmas tree
A
grow up
green
like
Christmas
that?
tree, I think, will go up somewhat, maybe
I'll have to try.
on the way down, when it's dying a little bit, it's better. I think I've thrown like a brand new Christmas tree on the fire, and as long as the fire's hot, it's going to go up pretty crazy with that sap in those needles. It's the sappiest tree in the world. The worst idea ever. Like, it just gets, the more I think about it, the more terrible of an idea the Christmas tree was. Like, have you ever dealt with a tree that sappy? Like, I mean, if you go to pick up a Christmas tree
can't.
and you reach into the middle and grab
yeah.
it, it's you just fucking hands just covered in sap.
That's just like the pine trees around here. You can't park under the pine trees.
Yeah, they
You
just
get sap all
ooze.
over your damn car.
I mean, it's just sappy. It's drip
but it's
sap.
the
all
only
over.
tree that has enough branches to hang ornaments. I guess is why, right?
I guess so.
Can't get
Well,
it,
there's many, different ones, different kinds of Christmas trees.
but they're all probably really flammable, right? But they're all. I mean, they're all the
Yeah,
fur. They're all basically furs, though, right? They're not.
Douglas fir. the
We're
Fraser
going.
fir,
We're
I
going
guess,
with the fake Christmas tree this year, right?
yes.
Yeah, I'm so glad we gave up that tradition. Yeah, just put up the fake tree. So much easier. I can't even imagine how much a real tree is now.
Yeah.
I
Did
bet
you
it's-
look, Trace?
Not yet.
Oh,
I
okay,
might be
gotcha.
going tonight.
I
I
just
forgot
like
about
that
soccer,
that
but
you can get a
Oh
nice
shit!
thin one.
Ah.
I ruined this day. It's not that bad.
Man.
It's not, but it's
Let's
right.
see
I
it.
mean, it's like I got to get ready for Ned, so it's right in the middle of me getting ready for Ned.
It don't matter. You,
You know
even got to come. It was.
We should break out the 40-yard dash timer thing,
Yeah.
because that'll kill 20 minutes. Because kids like to see how fast they are. So we'll bring that, kill some time.
What is it? This one it's just way easier. I'm never gonna join any type of children's soccer league that does more than one practice a week ever again. The 2 days a week,
Yeah.
there's something about it, man. Like, this one day doesn't seem like nothing. Just I don't even think about it. It barely bothers me. But that 2 days was just like fucking just hated it.
Yeah, we'll never, even if we ever do this again, and they say it's 2 days a week, we'll just say
No,
because
it's not.
back in the day, people were lined up to be coaches, and you had to get in.
Yeah.
So you can make sure you coach
Well,
your
yeah.
kid. Now they're begging for coaches, so you can
And
say,
the
"I'm
parents,
only do it once a week."
and I guarantee you the parents would be like,
Yay.
oh, thank God, only 1 day a week. Yeah.
At this level, it's like, come on,
Come on.
It's just getting them out and running around a couple days a week, having some fun.
Brent Savadalandi says, I looked last night for the first time in a long time, and 6 to 7 foot tree was $80 at Home Depot.
It's not too bad. I mean, I don't know. It's not
$80.
too bad.
We
Probably
used to be able to get them for
for s-
$30, $40.
Yeah, I
though.
guess I'm just used to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still get the $30-$40 one. I don't care how big it is. I'm gonna buy the $30-$40 one until they're this big.
I mean,
That might be.
that's what you
I mean,
gotta do, man.
Publix has some, little ones about this tall, and those are, I think, $30.
Yeah, I want to go out and cut one down.
We did
I
that
told you.
before.
mean, when
Like
I
on your
was-
property?
Yeah, or
Okay.
somebody else's property, or
Cut
wherever
off
I see a
somebody
good
else's
tree. Wherever I
Cut
see a
the
good
top
tree.
of a pine tree off.
Yeah.
There's
I don't know
not-
about a pine
did that.
tree. It's
We did that before. Well, they're thicker at the top. You know, if they're
thinner at the top. Or you mean like more branches
Yeah.
at the top? Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's still pretty
not
sparse.
not fir tree-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're not. Yeah.
You just got to see that one. You know, every once in a while you'd be like, "Oh, look at that! That'd be a good Christmas tree."
But you don't see a lot of those kind of trees around here. I don't think they're really like there is a couple Christmas tree farms around here,
yeah,
and you gotta. But I don't. If you're driving around, you're not gonna see a lot of trees that you could cut down and use as a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
do you think it'd be illegal
Unless
to
it's in
plant them all
someone's-
around the? They'd start getting pissed. The tree, if you just started planting them all around all around Florida. And people didn't.
Johnny Christmas tree.
Johnny Christmas tree. I'm gonna bring the prices of Christmas trees down.
I don't know if they flourish because that's why they don't. You know, they're more of a northern tree.
Yeah, but they grow them somehow.
Yeah, I don't know.
There are
yeah.
some in people's yards and stuff. You know, people have those nice looking trees in their yards. Can't go cut them out of their yard, but we're doing a fake one because they're nice. It's nice and thin. You know, some of those you get taller ones. They're just so big around the bottom. It's like, we don't know where to put. I want to put it in this little corner over here, and the fake one is nice and thin.
Nice and easy is what I
Yeah.
say. Nice and easy. Once you figure out how to put it together, it's got 3 sections.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
And it
the-
looks good. It's not
looks
like
good.
an ugly fake tree. It looks real nice. I like it.
I grew up with a fake tree. I never thought nothing about it. I never was like, boy, I wish we had. I mean, I like the smell of a real tree.
I'll spray it with some pine.
Yeah, spray it with some fucking pine scent. Good,
know.
good to go.
I got a decent tree 2 years ago. I haven't looked for it again, but it was a fake tree for $10. We got it. It was like on sale at Walmart.
You haven't looked for it. You don't know where it is.
It's in my shed somewhere. I don't like going in the shed. There's too much stuff scurries when you open that door, and I don't know what
Which
any
means
of it.
that's all in that tree too.
No, I don't care. I don't
scurries.
fucking care what is in there. If you just told me it wasn't spiders, like I would just walk in there, whatever. I don't care if it's a snake or a rat. But if that was a fucking giant spider I just saw scurry out of there, oh my god, I'm not even.
Well, you should care
God, this is scaring me now.
because
Fake spider. around here.
It's like, yeah,
you don't want to take that tree in the house and there be something living in it.
I mean, I think I'd be more afraid of a scurry than I would of a wild dog. Scurries, I'm like the scurry. Oh, God. Whoa. That's me.
Man, my fear of spiders is so bad. If you get a realistic looking plastic spider and start putting it on, like I'm just like, get the fuck off. Like I can't deal with it. And it's a plastic spider, a fake thing that can't even really hurt you in real life if it was real.
Oh, is somebody gonna have to go like take the kid to school?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was. When should I do the Sean Raz song? Should I wait and do
You
that?
can do the song
Yeah.
as long as it's not a Karen. I want to see the Karens.
Okay, so you don't care if you're not
Yeah.
here for the song. Okay, well that's what we'll do. We'll do this. You can leave whenever you need to, and we're gonna do
Yeah.
the song. What is this?
What'd you
Don't-
do?
Sean Raz,
Accept.
Don't send me a link to something that's gonna take my data.
It's been a long con, so you
Deny.
trust
I
him.
deny. Like they just take your data anyway, don't they?
Yeah.
who's to know? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing.
They're just
Sean.
trying to verify
Sean
your data
Raz.
at that
Close
point.
that whole thing out.
On the
Jeez.
wrong thing. Here it is. It's a MAGA song.
Oh, God.
Let's see who these jokers are. Forever MAGA, I guess, is the... Okay, it's Forever MAGA is the song. And it's the Trump Latinos.
I'm not really too much concerned about the lyrics, man. When I listen to music, I'm just trying to have a good time.
Well, then you don't like any Sean Raz shitty song of the week because they're all about the lyrics. It's featuring Forgiata Blow and Stony Dude Bro.
Wow.
And it's got 48,000 views on YouTube. Here we go. Forever MAGA, the Trump Latinos.
Biden, that's a knock. Obama, that's a knock. Kamala, she a knock. Newsom, that's a knock.
What?
saying not?
Op? Are they saying and not?
I said I don't care about the lyrics, so this song it's actually doing pretty good in my book because I like the flow.
I think they're saying like an op. Like they're
op?
fake, like they're some kind of government op. I
Okay.
think that's what he's saying. I don't know.
Let's hear it again.
Demis, they some mops. Rhinos, they some mops. Hamas, they some mops. Deep state, they ops.
I'm like kind of liking this.
That's what I'm
Already?
saying.
It's got a good beat and a good.
I can't understand a word they're saying.
Biden blew a shot, so I went and copped the rebound. They fly me tomorrow.
Is that
I'll go
Lil
with my
Wayne?
cousin.
What do you say?
Is that Lil Wayne? Sounds just like Lil Wayne.
It's Little Wayne, Hispanic person.
They saying Trump Latinos got the keys to the street now. Them Democrat cities, they book me, it's gonna be a fee now. We just trying to make America great. Stop the hate. Democrats want you to live and die on Section 8. Shout out my conservative women, I'm talking Carrie Lake. I want me.
So you think these guys, you know, whatever they're, I'm sure they were rappers before, and they just jumping on the Trump train
Yeah.
to get, you know, they don't know. They had to do all this research to find out, you know, their fake views.
I don't care. It's better than any of the Sean Raz songs we listen to. The Adam Calhoun bullshit. Just a thousand times
I
better.
tend to agree with you.
It's got like the.
It's got a hook too.
Good hooks and
It's got a-
punchlines and.
It's a snappy beat, man. It's a snappy tune.
Me a Bible thumper, you could keep the Kim K. Biden, that's a knot. Obama, that's a knot. Kamala, she a knot. Newsom, that's a knot. Demis, they some mops. Rhinos, they some mops. Hamas, they some mops. Deep state, they ops. If you ain't mad good, then using up. If you ain't mad good, then using up. If you ain't mad good, then using up.
Oh God! Oh no! Don't ruin it.
Oh no, it's just Stony Dude Bro. Stony Dude Bro.
4G auto still swerving big wheels, that's for life. Drop the top on the roses, get it, I'll be outside. Got the mega bow ring when it flooded out the eyes. Yeah, the check that I blew cost more than your life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, I'm bumping for more years. I'm getting sick of these demis, I'm pouring liberal tears. Big 4G
Oh, he's
mega-
not ruining it.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Could be a rare Sean Raz success story.
Belly, my seats red as spaghetti. Within 2 braids hanging, my beard as sharp as machetes. It's Stony Dude, bro, and I gotta set the record straight.
Oh, he's Stony
He's
Dude
Stony
Bro.
Dude.
So that other guy was Forgiato Blow.
Yeah.
Shine a light on the truth, cause we ain't got no time to wait. Everything wrong in the world, work of the deep state.
Stick to the hook, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one.
Rigged elections got consequences, yeah, I said that. I'm a mega figure, I've been tripping, yeah, I did that. I've been all around this country, met a lot of patriots. 2020 focused on it, nah, we ain't taking it. Biden, that's a knot. Obama, that's a knot. Kamala, she a knot. Newsom, that's a knot. Demis, they some mops. Rhinos, they some mops. Hamas, they some mops.
Hamas, they some ops. What's he saying?
Mops.
What's
I think he changed it to mops.
he's saying that war is fake is what he's saying. The government controls all that crap.
Deep state, they ops. If you ain't mad good, then using up. If you ain't mad good, then using up.
I bet Donna likes this T-shirt.
What's the?
I bet she likes this T-shirt. Not this one. Not this guy's T-shirt.
They ops.
Fuck off, we're full.
That's what I always say. We're full. We're full.
Is that what it says?
Yep.
How can you read that?
Because I'm close to it.
Oh.
I'm not looking up there. Were you going to say something, babe, or not?
What is the Israeli flag about?
I don't know. Because they know that they just got to put that there to get a certain element of people. Because there's some people who are like, we stand with Israel no matter what. So they're getting everybody.
If you ain't mad good, then using up. If you ain't mad good, then using up. If you ain't mad good, then using up. If you ain't mad good, then using up.
What a badass.
Here he comes.
Forgiato Blow. In this rental Ferrari.
You know, I don't know if I'd listen to it again, but I might. You know, I'd play that song in my car, maybe. Not like, it's not the
I mean,
typical Sean Raz song.
nah, not good. I mean, it had a good hook. Those guys don't just, they weren't just giving the message or whatever, or trying to be badasses like most of them are. Like most of the Sean Raz songs is these hillbilly white trash acting like they're gonna, you better not come roll up on me. You're gonna get two to the chest and all that kind of crap. Like they ain't never done nothing. They ain't even been in a fight in their life probably.
Man.
So yeah, a rare Sean Raz. I mean, they're all woos, but usually they're woos because they're terrible. But that was I was rare approval. Also, we liked the Tom McDonald Superman too. That was a Sean Raz?
Yeah,
too,
that
wasn't
was a Sean Raz.
it? You have to play that again sometime. That's a pretty good one, because that's kind of that. It's that's the whole mentality behind people who like support Trump. Is they're like, well, there ain't nobody out there ever gonna change anything, so we're just banking on that this guy's legit and he's gonna because there's no other, because for them there's no other hope.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you going to vote for that's going to change anything? Nobody. So that's how they feel. I mean, you can't. I don't understand how you can hate on people because they're just sick of. We've been screwed, for the last, at least 50 years. It's just and we're going downhill with a big screw job.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Nobody can stop them now.
Bob Marley
said it like 40 years ago.
Yep. Total destruction.
Only solution.
Yep. So that's why you can say, Trump's a threat to democracy. I'm like, well, maybe this democracy shit's played out. Maybe it's not
working too well.
Maybe it's not really a democracy anymore. We need to start fresh.
Did you throw a little Trump on the outside fish?
Fish. It's amazing. Dion's bathtub, 40 months. Woo! Thank you for Dion's bathtub. Moss, Tony Bluff. What's it say? It's currently on a 3-stream streak. I didn't know there was such a thing as a 3-stream streak. But thank you for being on a 3-stream streak. Oh, it's a new one. I don't know if that's a new thing. I never heard anybody on a 3-stream streak before.
Man, what is it? That Oh Shucks place. Like, it's just like, I told you I went there one time, right?
Yeah.
Oh Shucks.
Yeah.
It's kind of up by the villages.
Kind of reasonably priced.
And it was, I just like, it's really sticking with me, the $1 beers. I mean, that's just unheard of.
Is it a full mug of beer?
It's like a decent mug. I don't even,
a slightly smaller mug, perhaps.
I don't even think it was that
Okay.
that much smaller, like a normal size beer.
Normal size mug of beer. $1 beer.
For $1.
What kind of rot gut beer they
It was Miller High Life.
What's the difference? That's Miller High Life.
I mean, I've never heard of a place that sold $1 beer.
Are they jam packed? For people wanting to get
when
that
we went,
beer?
there was nobody there. Where me and Lauren were just eating chicken wings and drinking $1 beers. But I mean, even the most dive bar I can think of, the cheapest beer they got's $2.50. So, I mean,
that's still pretty. That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap. But a $1 beer,
that's
man,
unheard of. That's like usually like some kind of sink or swim deal.
I got it, and it was real cold, and I think it was the cheapness. I could feel the cheapness, and when I drank it, it just tasted like the best beer I had ever drank in my life.
$1 beer.
It was real cold.
Is that up in the villages?
Not quite.
Not quite.
It's on the way there.
Maybe that's the only way they can get them cheap old people to buy beer.
Oh, probably.
Said it for Jerry's benefit. He's probably going to start honking his horn any minute now. Should be here in about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll take a break when the dogs go crazy.
Yeah, that's a good place. I've never done the oysters. I'm still, we talk about oysters a lot on this show. How gross they are.
Have you had raw oysters?
Like, I mean, I don't think I normally do a raw oyster. I one time, maybe 8-9 years ago, I was pretty drunk up at what's that place? Right. O'Brien's. I was up there.
Okay, O'Brien's.
Maybe before it was O'Brien's, it was some other place that had a little more seafoodish type deal. And we went up there, and I was pretty drunk. They were doing these giant beers, and I was downing them, and somebody gave me an oyster and was like, eat it, eat it, eat it, and I did.
Didn't.
And I was like, I didn't get disgusted. It might have been how drunk I was, like, because it was disgusting. I mean, it was. I put all the hot sauce in the cracker and did the whole thing. And I was like, all right, that tasted like a slimy cracker hot sauce deal.
Like a lot of people swallow them, right?
What's the point?
So,
Yeah.
But if you're eating the raw, how chewy is that raw oyster on a cracker? I mean, doesn't it take a long time?
I think you use a cracker and just kind of slide it into your mouth,
and then you eat the cracker to cover up the shitty taste of the oyster.
Swallow it so you don't taste it, and then eat the cracker so you don't taste the disgustingness.
Now, what other food in the world do you just swallow? Can you think of one?
Ramen noodles a little bit.
That's your technique, though. That's not the traditional technique. Is to just swallow all your ramen noodles. So I don't think there is a food. You're supposed to chew it and savor it and enjoy it. All food is. I can't think of another food where you just go, here's a chicken nugget. Oh, no, I don't see. There's no other food. It don't make any sense to me. I can't wrap my mind around it. Because I just don't understand the point of swallowing.
Right?
Give me something I can chew.
You want to enjoy it, man. Chewing's the best part. You could almost chew it up and spit it out. Past the,
you could
get rid of the swallowing process.
I never was able, to have the willpower to do that. But I think if you chew it up, it's got to be almost as satisfying.
Yeah.
Like not physically, but in your head, you're like, man.
Most sour candies, I just suck all the sour off of, and then throw it out. Like, I don't even want that. It's not even that good. Like a
warhead,
a warhead or a sour Skittle.
Yeah.
Like a sour Skittle, I like to put like 5 in my mouth at a time, and it's just like so fucking sour.
And just scrape the skin off of your roof of your mouth and your tongue at the same time.
You're just like, oh. And then, but once you suck all the sour off, you got 5 Skittles in your mouth. You got to chew up into a big chunk of sugar ball of gunk and swallow. And I'm just like out the window with you, or in the trash.
Yeah, when I eat a warhead, I just swallow it. I don't.
Really? No, you don't.
No, it's like an oyster.
Just an oyster.
I get a butterscotch disc. Oh, it's so good swallowing that. It's the logic behind it doesn't make sense.
It's like eating a warhead, and you're trying not to get any of the sourness in your mouth.
You put it on a cracker and you slide it down the back of your throat. Then you eat the cracker because you got a little of that citric acid on your tongue. We've debunked oysters.
It's a disease.
It's a sickness.
It's a sickness that you got to eat these oysters.
Oyster people would be mad at us. We've
pissed
off the moon landing people. It's so much more fun to believe the moon landing was fake. It's so much more fun, and it's to me it's like there's so many things that you could poke holes in.
I mean, you weren't even. I don't even think a couple years ago you were on the moon landing is fake deal, and I think I've kind of converted you.
The more I watch when the camera operated by who knows who on them and then blast back up, I'm like, what are you talking about?
I mean, when they show it, like I'm like, they're not really expecting me to believe this is real, right? Like this, there's got to be small print. This is a computer generated model, because when they blow up, it looks like something from a movie or like a shitty Star Wars game.
What is that
on
called?
like Nintendo 64?
Yeah, under lunar lander. What would I say? I want that not exploding.
Launches off the moon.
Launches off moon. There you go. Launches off. Now, okay, so I imagine they would. What do they like? That thing would be propelled by little tiny rockets.
It looked like it was a small explosion that caused it to go up, and maybe.
And then it's got these tiny rockets, and it maneuvers out in space. After it launched willy nilly at whatever speed up into the space to the lunar.
Yeah, they don't have any.
And then they lock in with precision. That sounds
It
preposterous.
does
to
sound
me.
preposterous.
Of course, somebody believes it. Of course, they practiced it on the bottom of a pool
In
for
a swimming pool.
17 years. I don't know if the swimming pool is exactly like space. I don't know.
It's not.
I think I'd be going, this is not like water. Whoa!
I mean, the space is not dense. You know, it's less dense than Earth. And water is 820 times denser than air.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, the complete opposite. It's the opposite of space.
So this is 1972, and this is a live automatic feed from a camera
Yes.
being sent to Earth or captured by the guys inside. I don't even understand where this picture comes from.
How'd they get back to it? I guess we were live videoing from the moon.
Can't get cell service like on certain parts of the Howard Frankfurt Bridge.
Oh my god! I can't.
Preposterous.
The moon is like it's bigger than this ball compared to the Earth.
Yeah.
But like if the moon would be like 50 yards away from here. Like that's how when you in comparison, like you can't get in contact with somebody from here to here, especially out in
Not even
India.
close.
You know, you
Not
probably
even
got
close.
no cell service right here. But like that's like like over by you is how far away the moon is from the Earth. Even further than that, you know. And we were just live casting. That just seems preposterous to me.
I mean, 200,000 and something miles, right?
I thought it 200, 400, I think.
Whatever. It's it's a lot. It's hundreds
Fucking
of
long.
It's hundreds of thousands of miles. And what? Where did these? I mean, I don't know nothing about. So these guys recording this with a VCR inside. Where did this picture come from? But here's the pic. Here's them blasting off. All right, we did our moon deal. Now we're gonna blast off on this little thing, and we're
Made of aluminum.
and we're gonna dock with this thing that's orbiting the moon, using some little rockets or something.
Push. Engine arm is destined. Okay, I'm going to get the pro. 99, proceeded. 3, 2,
Here we go.
1. Ignition. Right away, Houston.
God, I mean, that's
Oh, Jerry's here. How fake is that?
X-Side.
it's being lifted up by like a crane, obviously,
Take over.
or maybe they're blasting
Here you
into
have
space.
good
I don't know.
And who's okay? So they're operating a camera from
They're zooming and-
$200,000 or 400,000 miles away with precision.
Yes.
They're operating the camera and going right along with no delay. There's no delay.
It would take a minute for your signal of moving the camera up to get there, because it's so far
Okay,
away.
hang on, let's take a break. We'll finish discussing.
right.
We'll finish discussing this when Jerry gets in here and the dogs quit barking. And we'll be right back with more ClusterF.
ClusterF will be right back. Please enjoy a tasty selection from the world's greatest parody artist.
No, let's do the different one.
ClusterF will be right back after they hydrate and relieve themselves. I swear, they're not putting on fresh fentanyl patches and doing key bumps. Drugs are bad. Stay tuned, dickheads. Yes, I was calling about that guy who was trying to name the street Cowshit Lane.
Yes, sir.
Well, who's this? Is this his neighbor?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's going on with that deal? I mean, what's up?
Well, I had that sign taken down.
Well, how can that be? He owns that street, don't he?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's his property, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, why can't he name it whatever he wants?
That street sign was public obscenity. I had it taken down.
Well, yeah, but it's his property. I mean, if he owns it, he ought to be able to call it a fuck you lane if he feels like it.
But not in my neighborhood.
Well, I feel that's a violation of his fucking First Amendment rights.
Well, I don't care.
I mean, I'm with this guy. I own 2,000 acres just north of Tupelo, and I'm going to do some street naming of my own.
Well, I get them signs taken down, too. What's your name, sir?
My name's Ned.
Ned what?
Ned, shut the fuck up. I'm talking, boy. Look, I got 47 streets on my property.
Sir?
And I got some pretty creative names for them.
Well, if they're obscene, I'll come down here and take them down myself.
I got my dead grandma's pussy place, my asshole's bleeding boulevard,
Sir?
Moosecock Way.
I'll take the damn signs down myself.
Hey, you try that shit, you get your head blown off, boy. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, how about Blow Me Boulevard?
Sir?
Yes.
I got things to do.
Dick Liquor Circle?
You're really wasting my goddamn time.
Hey, listen, don't get smart with me, boy. I'll kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, well, I'll kick your ass.
Oh, yeah? You tough guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, why don't you meet me at the corner of You Fuck Your Daddy and Like It Lane and shove it up your ass court, and we'll settle this man to man.
You name the time and the place, and I'll be there.
Is that right?
That's right. Hello?
Yes, listen, asshole.
Quit bothering me.
Since you're fixing to get your ass kicked, you'll need directions to my house.
Ed?
Take Highway 92 south till you come to Lick My Balls Lane.
Sir?
Take a right.
Ed?
2 miles, go left on Jack My Dick Drive. Then right on Cocksucker Place, and that's. Hello?
Hello?
Listen, you backward-ass country fuck, why don't you just keep your nose out of other people's business?
Kiss my ass.
Fuck you.
Suck my dick.
Suck my dick? Well, what a coincidence. That's the street I live on. As a matter of fact, I got a song about that. We're gonna drive down to Suck My Dick Avenue. I sure do hope you swaller.
Sir?
Oh, we're gonna drive down to Suck My Dick Avenue. Hello? Hello?
Welcome back to ClusterF. Don't forget Ned in Your Head tomorrow morning, 7:45. The new episode of The Hang up on YouTube, Spotify, and Twitch later on today. Mike and Jerry coming up at 11. Jam-packed as always on this channel. What's up, Jerry? How's it going? Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the waters.
Been a while.
Listening to you guys and whatnot. And talking about shucks coming in.
Oh, shucks,
Shucks.
man.
Shucks.
Whatever.
I got
Dollar beer.
another place for you.
Where's that?
In Leesburg.
What do you got?
In
Card?
Leesburg.
You got-
I might even have the receipt on me because I was there last night.
Jerry brings receipts.
I was there last night. Check out what I pay for a 16-ounce.
16 ouncer. That's a big
16
beer. That's a
ouncer.
nice size
Oh,
beer.
225.
$2.25
Good for 16 ounces.
16 ounces. That's a
excellent.
good deal right there.
All right.
And a gyro for $8.99. Not too bad.
Exactly. I'm telling you. You know, you live up there. I got to show you places where to go. What's going on? I told you about Old Shucks, and now I got to tell you about the Great Chicago Fire Brewery.
Where's that at? I mean,
Those big beers will get you drunk, man.
Jerry's like,
I'm telling you, they're cold, man. Right
Yeah,
out of the tap. That's
Perfect.
tap beer. That was 16-ounce tap beer. Yingling.
Nice.
And none of that garbage shit.
You know, you don't see a lot of places that do the people drinking out of pitchers like they used to. It used to be.
Right.
I mean, that's what when I was like in my 20s, we'd go. Donald and I go to the pub with the softball team. Nobody's buying a single
Pitchers,
beer. It's like,
yeah.
they got 4 pitchers over here. I don't know. But I don't really
Well, I
see
think
that
like
as much
when
anymore.
when I was living down here and we would go out, you know, me, you, and what's his name with Brandon. You know, we get a pitcher or whatever. But I guess if you're by yourself, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I just stopped getting pitchers. I don't know. I became a beer snob.
I think
It's-
people
are too
big.
It gets warm sometimes. I don't like that warm
We
beer.
went to Beef's the other night, and
did?
a guy was sitting at the bar drinking a pitcher by himself.
Myself.
It's cheaper by the pitcher.
Yeah, I'm thinking people are too big of pussies nowadays.
I think it is.
You know, that pitcher's gonna last like an hour. It's gonna all be warm by the time it gets to the bottom. Back in the day, you buy it and everybody's like, "Oh, pitcher of beer," you know. Because when I've got a pitcher of beer with my friends, you're kind of racing your friends to drink more of the beer.
It's true too. All 3 guys. I don't know if this applies to Donna, but like anytime I was drinking a pitcher, I'm watching the other guy's beer, and if he's way ahead of me, I'm like, oh, I gotta drink.
I never even thought that.
You're like, I've got to be the one who gets 2 beers out of this thing. You know.
Yeah, I was always whoever's drinking pitcher, I was trying to stay even with them.
Yeah.
But just because not necessarily because I want more beer, just to
'cause you're-
stay even.
Yeah.
We're on the same level.
Maybe that was it because you were always pouring. I was always done, and there's Mike pouring again. I guess I was forcing you to drink quicker.
I had a hard time keeping up with Jerry.
It's
with
like,
the-
man,
with the pitcher
nice,
deal.
man. He's pouring me beers.
So you were here for the song of the day, right, Donna?
Yes.
Yeah, so we approved. That was a good song of the day. Now we were talking about the moon landing, and we can't figure out who's operating this camera. And if you like watch a news broadcast and they're talking to somebody in Tokyo, how it takes like 2 seconds, and they're just sitting there because it's a delay. Is there no delay on the moon? You can operate a camera from the Earth and take a picture of this and follow the thing up into the sky.
Right away, Houston. Vector good. X-Side.
They're following it right up there.
How do you know it's not a delay?
Who's operating? Because then they would have missed the shot. How would this is a lie? This is from the moon.
Right.
Who's operating the camera? And NASA back in Houston.
Yeah.
I guess
the
these
whole
guys
feed is delayed. The video.
No,
and
but like
audio.
okay, so you're operating the camera. You wouldn't. I don't like you wouldn't see.
I'm
You
trying
wouldn't
to think
see.
of-
You wouldn't see the thing go up because of a delay, and you'd miss the shot, right?
I think so, but
we think so.
it just looks ridiculous. I'm not
it
even
looks-
talking about the remote operating camera.
This whole scenario of
But,
blowing it up into the sky.
Yeah, but you got to, especially you, Trace. You want, this is big technology. To you, this is like ancient, like people, still working with sticks or some shit. You were born in whenever, 90 or
Yeah.
whatever. This is 20 years before you. I can see why you laugh at it, but.
I'm laughing at it because it doesn't. I'm like, this wouldn't work. Like, this isn't how space works. This isn't how space looks. This isn't how. You can't go to the moon with fucking a tinfoil. Like, they can't do it now with all the technology they have.
There is no way. There's no way at all that you can test this. What they just did.
Well, yeah,
Because
this is their first try
It has
ever.
to be it has to be with low gravity. Right. They can't just on Earth. It would blast up and fall right down. So how do you? They couldn't test it. Just had a
Nothing ever works on the
crossed.
first try.
Did for them on the moon. Kablooey! Kablooey! Look at it. That's magic. Go right up. Get your little rockets that we've never tested and sidle up onto the.
Just the
the
fact
ship.
that they act like they can't do that now.
They're going. I think
cannot
they're
do
going
that
too
yet.
slow.
I don't think they can't do it now. I think they realize there's no reason to do it.
No, they're doing
No,
it.
they're
Very
trying.
expensive.
We're gonna go up there
They're
in,
trying to go
Yeah.
back, but
in
they said they
2025. 2025, we're going back.
lost the directions on how to do it. It's like, really?
I mean, I was
got
always
shredded.
under the impression, like after they went and they dug up some rock and they dug up this or whatever it is, nothing there to
Nothing.
worth
Well,
going back
no,
for.
they said they're trying to go back, and we'll
But
be.
now we're trying to go back, and we're going to go
And they're
back
not going to be able to do it till what, 2025?
2025 because we first have to
Because
send
they-
unmanned missions to orbit to make sure the radiation isn't too much.
Don't we already know that?
Well, there's 9 million satellites up there too.
The satellites are 200,000 miles away from the moon.
You still got to get through that traffic.
That's the problem.
You still
That's
got to
the
get through
traffic.
the traffic.
The traffic.
You see those pictures, and it looks like there's a lot of junk in space. But even if there was 9 million satellites up there, you wouldn't. It's not even. It's nowhere close to a bunch
It's
of
still
junk
a drop
up
in the
there.
bucket. 'cause
It's still a drop in the
such
bucket.
A giant space.
Yeah. I mean, there's 9 million trees in some forest. If you took all those trees and split them up evenly around the world, there'd be a tree like.
I mean,
you wouldn't
how-
even be
how-
able to see the
how-
next tree.
How are you not like have some degree in science or something? I mean, I'm coming in and going, and I'm hearing water is 800 times more dense than oxygen. I'm like, who the fuck knows this? Who knows this?
820.
I mean, get on Jeopardy or something. I mean, really, the shit that you know. I'm like, really?
He makes it all up.
Is that
all made
because
up.
I'm like, how the freak does he know the density of water?
He's the Brent Hatley of the ClusterF show.
No, I wouldn't say that.
And we usually check him out, and we're like, "Dang it, he's right
I
again."
know. I'm like, really?
I was saying it was preposterous, and he was totally right. He watches a lot of YouTube videos.
I'm thinking, go back to school or something. Do something because you got some knowledge that I don't know somebody could use. I guess.
I memorize facts. That's like all I got. I like to memorize different cool facts about science.
Density of water. I mean, I'm going to remember that now for the rest of my life, but it's like implanted in my mind.
You should be a professor, Trace. You should be a professor.
I should be a professor.
We talked about this yesterday. This kid, like somebody on some internet news site, they did a whole article about this kid should be, the NFL needs to question this, and this kid, and make a statement about this. And it was a big deal, and then, it turns out that this kid is part Native American. He's part Native American. So that really blows your whole, thing out of the water.
But he's wearing war paint. He's projecting war. He's projecting violence.
It's
I have no idea.
Kansas, I mean, I don't know why he did the black and red motif.
Kansas City.
It's Kansas City. I mean, it's just like. But
Why does everybody keep saying
I think
that?
he should be. I think they could probably sue the guy. For look, this kid. He's blowing this kid up, his face, all over the nation on his, with his story, and now this kid's all over Twitter, and he's viewed by a lot of people as a racist. I think that's libel. I think you could, sue the shit out of this guy, and I hope they do.
They said
is he?
it's the
Who's who?
The guy doing it.
Just some reporter for like the.
They said
reporter?
it's the thing that that went broke with
like
Hulk
Deadspin.
Hogan.
I think it was Deadspin.
Yeah, it's
reporter
under
for
a different
Deadspin.
name now or some shit.
Yeah.
It's the one that went bankrupt with Hulk Hogan or some shit.
So it's
You would
Deadspin
think
guy.
they'd know better than to do that to a kid, though. You're going to get backlash just, trying to
but
put
everybody.
a kid out there.
He's thinking everybody's looking for to jump on something and be the first guy to call it out and then get it. Everybody knows this guy on Deadspin now. If you've been following it,
I mean, what is he, 8? I think I don't know.
10,
how,
8 or 10.
I mean, you're picking
Little
on
kid.
an 8-year-old.
Yeah, he's just looking like.
I mean-
You look at this and you're trying to think of whether it's racist, but then you really think about it and you're like, this kid went into the bathroom and found some makeup and put it on to go to the fucking Indians game. He put some Indian makeup to think he was cool.
Did I hear something correct that the Redskins, Washington wants to get the Redskins name back, or is it the Cleveland Indians? Or somebody's
think
said, the tribe whatever tribe is there said no, give them back their name or something.
I think it's the Redskins, and I think it's the Native Americans. They're saying, we didn't want them to change it in the first place.
Yeah, we had no problem with it. Yeah, okay.
But this kid,
I mean, obviously,
This kid really likes football.
This kid's mom or whatever bought this all for him and put the makeup on him for him. He's too young to do all that.
No, he
But-
went in the bathroom and went, I hate blacks and I hate Native Americans, and I'm going to wear a red and black face. I don't think that happened
That's
at
what
all.
they're saying,
That's what
man.
they're saying.
That's
That's what they're
ridiculous.
saying.
And you know what? Here's the other thing. Like whatever he is, 7, 8 years old, he's just a kid. He has no idea what racism and anything is. Now he does.
Yeah.
Now he does because his face. Everybody's calling him a racist.
Yep.
So he now knows what instead of just growing up and living life as a kid. Now he's like 37 years old.
This is him, like last week at the game. Look how happy he is. He's
Yeah,
like, he's
exactly.
loving it. And people are going, man, you look great. And now he's like hiding in his bedroom.
Even-
getting
I
tro-
don't even.
Trying to get a lawyer.
getting
right?
trolled on the internet by grown men.
Trying to get a lawyer to sue so he can have protection for the rest of his
I
life.
hope he
I
wins.
don't
I hope he
even
wins
care if
some
he
money.
wasn't Indian. It was a thing. Cowboys and Indians. People. It was. I
It's
don't think kids
preposterous.
ever thought of it
No.
as a racist thing.
No.
He knows.
And
He does
it's
now.
the Chiefs, and I think
does now.
everybody in the whole stadium could dress up like that if they wanted to.
I think.
I would not be offended.
I saw
And why would anybody? It's the Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs in their colors. This could be not true. It's on the internet. I saw something that's saying the Kansas City Chiefs fans were planning on all dressing like this.
And they should. They
How
all
badass
should.
would that be?
That would be badass, and they
How
should.
badass would
Because-
that be?
And he'd be leading them,
I'm tuning
Being
in.
a Giants fan, I'm looking for a new team to root for.
I'm tuning in Sunday
Yeah.
because the Chiefs are usually on somewhere, and I want to see if that happens.
That would be the only thing
They
that would
probably
knock Taylor Swift out of the headlines.
They probably wouldn't even
Yeah.
put a picture of it up. They probably
They won't
be like,
cover it.
don't cover.
They won't
Don't
even-
point the cameras
Don't
over
point
there.
the cameras at the crowd. That's what they'll do. But I hope it happens. I still hope it happens.
Lauren's thinking about doing one of those like ancestry DNA deals. I'm, and we're debating on getting one. It's like $250, $300.
Why?
But you can get if you're like, she has a little bit of Indian on both
Yeah.
sides of her
okay.
family.
Okay.
That's the only reason to do
And
it.
she was like, you can get $1,000 a month if you're like, you can
I
be
don't
like,
know if you
you
can
can
or
be like,
not.
some
There's
of
a
them
lot
you
of
have to be
poor
50-50.
Well, you
Yeah.
can open up a casino.
Yeah, or we can open up a
Well,
casino.
we can do
Webster, the
that.
first casino in Webster.
Run all the fish games places out of business.
You can get what you can get is like money off of tuition. Even if you're a 16th of a
Yeah.
Indian, you can get money off of tuition.
Really?
In colleges. Mm-hmm.
It depends on what tribe. Like
have
some
to-
you
yeah.
had to be like 1/30th, some you had to be half 50-50. But I mean, some you can get like $1,000 a month.
Ned's Navy says maybe Trace is looking for his biological dad.
I think it's 25%.
It's different for all the different
It is.
what you are.
Yeah,
like
maybe
what
even
tribe
in the
you're
state.
from.
What state you're
state,
in? Yeah. Elab says it depends on the tribe.
Yeah, it's not giving me it.
I mean, because there's plenty of poor Native American Indians. Why aren't they getting money?
I think
They're not-
maybe y'all get the same amount. You get $1,000 a month.
Yeah, I don't think it's that much.
What
You know, they-
don't get that much?
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't know
Yeah.
if they get anything.
Some of them here do because of the casino,
Well, that's a casino paying.
but that's
them now, probably.
I don't know how they.
But where does
qualify
the
for that.
casino-
You have
yeah,
to be
where
a
does-
Seminole maybe.
We need Emerson Johnson to tell us. That, he's
Yeah.
Navajo, and tell us how much. Not to pry Emerson, how much money do Native Americans, if you're a Navajo, get from the government?
I mean, some of them don't get anything. I've watched a documentary thing on some of those up in North Dakota, that area.
Like if-
and they say, they own. They say they try to tell you, act like you own the American Indians own this land up here. He's like, we don't own anything. The government comes and takes it whenever they want.
The reservation, the government land. I'd like to know how much they get. It can't be that much because, for years, the stereotype is Indians living on the reservation drunk in the gutter because, they give them money and but they don't give them enough to be rich. And when you give people money,
Just enough to get in trouble.
it doesn't matter what race you are. If you're raised on free money, you're not going to do well ever, and that's probably the plan too. Let's put them on here, give them just enough money to get into trouble, and they'll eventually go away, and we'll forget all about it. But hey, I don't want to give the land back. And I wouldn't. It's called them's the breaks. What didn't happen, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it happened long ass time ago. We built a lot of kick-ass towns, and we ain't giving them back.
And never mind.
Weston says it's only $80.
What did you get?
No.
Oh.
The DNA test.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I thought that's what you got from the government. I was like, wow, I ain't paying for that. Speaking of the Chiefs, this is what's making the news nowadays. Travis Kelce reveals cute nickname for Taylor Swift.
Oh, I can't wait.
Dude, they're turning the NFL into a reality TV show. That's what they're fucking doing. I'm not even gonna. I might not watch even the Bucks next season.
That about put the last nail in the coffin with this thing. Because, but I mean, like a couple of weeks ago, I'm watching the Giants get their ass kicked by Dallas again, like 2 weeks ago or whatever, and down like, I don't know, 40-7 or some shit.
Yeah.
And this guy on the Giants makes an interception. And he starts freaking dancing like for fun. And I'm like, what are you dancing about? You're losing by 33 points. You gave up. You're on defense. You gave up 40 points, and you're dancing. What the? And I said, that's it. And they're watching it. They're showing it on TV. Like, really? Okay.
It's the me. It's all the me. It's the me.
And that's
all about the me.
That is the perfect example of me. I'm losing 40-7, but I made an interception. Look at me. That's a perfect example. There is no team in football. There's a lot of I in football. There's a lot of I in football.
He might have had something in his contract, and we made $1 million with that last interception. I might be dancing too.
There is no team in football. It's all about I.
And they're going to ruin college football too. With like they have the transfer portal.
Yeah, I don't.
So these guys every year they're just switching
bouncing
teams
all over the
and
place.
everything, and it's like they're going to ruin for college football too. Because I was going to just quit NFL and watch college. Cause
last weekend I was a happy little fella. Big games, Ohio, Michigan, Florida State. We kind of knew what that. But it was a good weekend for college football. I mean, a lot of college,
even
a lot
the
of good games.
The Gator game
and
was,
this weekend
was good,
too.
even though
the Gator game.
They almost won.
I screwed up. Evan and Lauren were over, and like 2 weeks ago, I made a tea time, like Saturday, like 12 o'clock. And then I looked, and I'm like, Michigan, and the Rangers were playing Boston. I won, and then I said, listen, you all right if we only play 9 holes? It's like, yeah, no problem. I said, cool. Played 9 holes, ran back, watched the games.
Yeah, Michigan game was really good too.
Yeah.
It was a really good game.
Yeah.
I still had no idea. It's like in the past 6 months, Taylor Swift has became top 5 most famous people in the world. I didn't even know she was that popular.
The history of the world. So she just wrapped up her South American tour.
Yeah.
And so she's done. But in a year from now, she's going to be restarting the Eras tour in Tokyo and doing all that crap over there. It's like, man.
She's so rich.
How would you like to be a
billionaire?
I thought she was going out of, I was like, there was a couple years where I thought, all right, maybe Taylor Swift won't win every award anymore. Things. And then all of a sudden she came back and just blew up again. It's like, what the hell?
How would you like to be Travis Kelce? Like, he's probably, maybe I'll round it up and say he's worth $100 million, say.
If that, yeah.
His girlfriend makes 10 times more than that. She's worth $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Imagine that shit. I'm multi-millionaire. I'm a pauper compared to my girlfriend.
Poor.
I mean, what could you ever buy her? She's a billionaire. What kind of gift are you getting her?
Nothing. You couldn't buy her
You got to get something
Hershey
nice,
candy bar, man.
thoughtful instead of expensive.
Yeah.
That's the only way to go.
Well, that's even worse. It's even harder to buy thoughtful gifts. That's the hardest part.
You're right. It'll be in the store.
But that's all you could get. Because you could get her a, $500,000 car, and she'd be like, $500,000.
Got one.
What kind of engagement ring do you buy if they get engaged? I mean, how big is it got to be?
I'm sure they won't last very long.
Yeah, they won't.
They're probably too egomaniacal.
Exactly, both of them.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed in you guys. You didn't even ask what Travis Kelce's cute nickname for
I
Taylor
don't give
Swift?
a fuck. I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
I'm like, yeah, thank you.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
I'm
Go
on
ahead.
Trace
I don't
team.
want to know it.
I'm on a Trace team.
Fucking
Who
mention
gives a
it.
fuck?
Go ahead.
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Nancy Donna's got
Donna
to know.
wants
She's
to
got to
hear it.
know.
I don't gotta know. I
now.
just go ahead.
Yeah,
and
she
tell
does. If you let's see how long you can go without telling her until
Yeah.
her mind blows.
You
explodes.
are so wrong because I could really care less.
She's looking it up right
She'll
now.
be Googling it later.
Wrong.
Did you hear the story about the guy?
Go ahead. Tell The listeners demand.
Not
to know.
long, Trace. Not long.
The chat room's blowing up. They want to know.
It's really disappointing too.
Sure it is.
It's really Tay.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's like
Probably a lot of people call her that.
Ned did a
Tay?
parody song
Boy,
2
that
weeks
took a
ago
lot
and
of
called her
thought.
Tay Tay. I mean,
Yeah, that took a lot of thought.
Tay.
Tay.
And
Or Swift.
So that's it's like
Or
how
Swee.
how's that even worthy of of a mention? You know,
it's
in the
not.
Hey, you know what, Travis? Nix that. Call her Swee. SWI. Swee.
Swee.
That's even
Swee.
better. Swee is better than Tay.
And what's
terrible.
up with the headline that says cute? It says cute nickname. That's not a
He
cute.
just shortened her name.
That's what I'm saying. Call her Swee. Swee.
Yeah, it's really like
That's my nickname for Taylor.
like Berlin used to like Taylor Swift, and she was like, I'm done with Taylor Swift. It's like this whole Kelsey thing is so fake and stupid. It's like
Lauren's still in. Lauren's still got tickets. She's got tickets for the next.
I think
concert.
the
She
NFL.
goes every time she comes to
I
Florida.
mean, I mean, she's like a good pop star. She's she's good.
They
Some,
say they put
some
on,
good
she
songs,
puts on a show.
but I just don't understand why. I mean, like Michael Jackson was kind of, if you look at his ability to sing and dance, kind of separated himself from everybody. He, Taylor, she plays some nice songs and the guitar, but I don't know. And she can put on $1 billion, a multi-million-dollar show, but I don't think her songs are that great.
That's. I think
I don't-
the
I mean, they're
concert. I
fine.
think it's more
They're
about the
fine.
show.
Yeah, it's
You
supposed to
know,
be huge.
yeah.
I mean, they got 50 semis or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
It's a ridiculously extravagant show. So I get that, but I just don't. I mean, you could pick any female pop star and their songs. What's the difference between her and Katy Perry? And their songs are,
None.
to me, the
None.
exact
None.
same.
Yeah.
Exact. I
But
might
I
like
think,
Katy
like-
Perry songs. I know more Katy Perry songs probably than Taylor Swift songs.
Like I remember working at the Ice Palace, and like I worked most of the concerts when I was working there. I would work them and stuff, and it was like a concert, like we all know.
Yeah.
There was no big, maybe a little light show and
Yeah.
stuff, but there was no big dramatic waterfalls and water and this and people hanging from places and whatnot. I mean, I don't even know if they can pull that off in the Ice Palace anymore. Maybe only 5 people in it then. I mean, because that shit takes up. Like they had it in the Tampa Stadium.
They had,
So,
yeah. It's
So
just
I mean, you
stadium.
need
It's
a lot of
stadium
room.
tour.
Yeah, you
That's
need a
all.
lot of room. That's an outdoor
Remember when
tour.
God-
Yeah.
I mean, Kiss just used to play guitars, and then they'd have some flames shoot up.
Yeah,
and everybody
exactly.
was like,
Yeah, that was it. Flames. Yeah, and then we moved it to lasers, light shows
Lights,
and shit.
lasers?
But now they're doing all sorts of things. They're flying around.
I never understood, like Pink. She's always flying around.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
me, that's
It's like
ridiculous.
I just came to hear your songs. I don't give a crap that you're trapezing all over the stage. I don't care.
I find that the worst part of her whole deal because I like Pink. I think she's a great singer. I think she doesn't get the credit she deserved, because she was a little rough, so they didn't prop her up so much. But that whole trapezing, and then it's like, all right, we get it. You can do that. But
now
there's
that's all-
nothing. There's nothing great about that.
That's all she
It's
does
a
now
circus
too. It's like,
act.
I don't
I
want.
think she just likes flying around.
Yeah, maybe.
She thinks she's really good. Well, okay, you're really good at it.
Probably
I guess
it probably
but
does take some strength.
Yeah.
She looks like she'd be strong too. She
Yeah.
looks like she'd whip your ass.
Take some strength, and then she's good at it. But it's just a circus act.
What is it? What's trapeze? And I forget.
It's
is
not
that
actually. It's more.
not
It's one of the
trapeze, and it's
like a big curtain. Like it's that thing you wrap around.
Oh yeah.
She does all that stuff.
they hang from
Hangs
that
from the
and-
long
Yeah.
cloth thing, and they do in Cirque du Soleil and stuff. I couldn't care less.
Yeah. I'm
Sing
not
your
into
songs, toots.
So I got some Indian stuff here.
Oh, we got
Moss
some.
Tony Bluff says, I'm a registered prairie band Potawatomi, I get about $1,200 every 3 months from the casino in Kansas.
Thanks for your land, buddy.
$400 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey, what the hell? Pay the cable bill.
Elab says my wife has 12%, but it's Ojibwa. I don't know how to say it. And because the tribe is poor, they get $100 a year for their birthday.
Oh,
so
my
$100
God.
a year.
And where's that from?
Is
that from a...
Now,
That's him.
so the tribe
Still take
so
it.
who gives the money? The tribe gives out the money,
I
and the
guess.
tribe get the money from the government and the federal government, and then they give it to people. I don't understand
Yeah,
it.
I
Well, I
don't
thought
know
it would
where
just be
they-
like directly from the government to the.
I don't
I
know
don't
where
know.
they get it. The money, any money. But then Brandon says the Seminoles, every man, woman, and child is paid weekly, and it averages out about $128,000 a year.
What? No
For the
wonder.
Seminoles.
man.
Because they got all these casinos. They're the
Yeah.
ones.
Oh, so it's.
Gosh, what about these DNA tests? They send you like a kit. I'm just gonna go to some Seminole and rub this Q-tip, give him $100 to rub this Q-tip around in his mouth and send him that.
That's not a bad idea. I wonder if they thought of that.
I'm 100% Seminole.
It's a great plan. I'm sure it's going to work to a T, Trace.
So
there's
the
a lot of.
Seminoles are probably the only ones that get.
Well,
Lots of money.
probably wherever there's a casino, that must be the deal, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, in order to get the license or whatever, you got to pay your people, maybe, or something.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
yeah, wherever there's casinos that are Indian affiliated, I imagine that tribe is making money.
Now
But I
is-
guess if you don't have the money to start up a casino, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Or you live out in New Mexico in the middle of nowhere, and nobody's going to come to your casino. So
Well, wasn't Vegas in the middle of nowhere?
I don't know how they did that. they decided to make a sprawling metropolis in the middle of the desert, and it worked.
But it's a couple hour bus trip from California, from L.A. You know, I think that
yeah, it's much more accessible.
You know, and it was the 50s. You could take a plane there. You know.
Yeah.
So is the owner of a casino a Seminole, or do you have to just pay all the Seminoles money if you're the owner of a casino? Do you know what the?
I think they have to own it.
Yeah.
But I'm
it's
sure
probably
it's
some
some kind of
puppet.
big-
It's a puppet kind of deal.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Some politicians are getting
yeah.
rich
Kickback,
off of that.
You know how
too.
it works. I mean, find one of these little tribes and start a casino and take half their money.
Just knowing how rich people work, though, I guarantee even the Seminole owners, if they own the casino, are like, God damn it! I wish we didn't have to pay everybody $1,000 a week.
Yeah,
You know,
how can we get
$1,000 a
away?
month.
How can we get away with not
paying
doing
our
it?
people the least?
Yeah, how can we
That's just
steal
how
this money?
How
That's the
can
way
we
it
steal
is.
it from
Yeah.
Well,
our
get
own
some
people?
phony Seminoles on the payroll. That's all. Got some dead Seminoles there that they're paying and they're taking their money.
Moss Tony Bluff says some tribes keep all the money.
Well, what does that mean?
Blackfoot has billions of dollars, but they won't touch it because they want their land back.
Well, they're a bunch of suckers because they ain't going to get their land back and they're enjoy the billions. What do you mean the tribes keep all the money, Moss Tony Bluff? Like, there's a very small group of powerful people that run the tribe and they keep it all, or
They probably became
and
like
what?
our government taught them how to, become a
Yeah,
greedy government.
It's like it doesn't matter what country or race, the government is eventually going to find out a way to screw you, the
Yeah.
people. They don't care about the people. They want to steal your money, and that's what every government's about.
But I don't see why don't we give them a couple of states? I don't have a problem with giving them a couple states back.
Well, what
of
if you
course,
li-
the
what if
people
you
live
li-
there.
what if
might-
they- what if it was Florida?
She's
What if
so
they're gonna
full
give
of
Florida
shit.
back?
If they tried to
Yeah.
give fucking Florida back, she'd
No,
fucking
I'm talking
Give them
about.
New York City back.
Yeah, I'm talking
she'd be
about.
telling them we're full. Sorry, we're full.
I'm talking about a couple of states that don't have a lot of population.
So those people have to move.
They can live there too. You just have to buy it from them. Whoever lives there gets to live there.
Steve
But the
bought-
rest of the state, the Indians can have it.
Sounds like a great
What's
plan.
wrong with that?
You're gonna have to give up half your property to Indians.
I said the states that are not that populated because it's easier to do.
Utah, Ghana, Donna, she lives in Idaho. She loves her Idaho life, and then
You
all of
can
a sudden,
stay there.
all of a sudden,
People that live there can.
I know you can. You stay there, and all of a sudden, there's Native Americans everywhere, and she's driving. Going,
And they don't watch their kids good, and they don't know how to drive well. Oh my God, she's gonna kill them all.
on electric scooters.
She come home bitching about them every day. Why did they have to
Little
come to
Indians on
Idaho?
electric scooters.
Idaho was so nice.
Okay, well they
Her
can
car
get
drives would be so racially hate, so much racial hate.
You're so mean to me. Why are you so mean to me?
I think everybody had to call you out on that one.
Fuck you.
Oh
That's
man,
what I say.
she's getting mad just thinking about
Fucking
it.
asshole. Fucking asshole.
There we go.
Fucking asshole. Fucking asshole.
That's Donna.
Fucking
I'm just gonna
asshole.
push that
Fucking
the rest of the
asshole.
show.
Fucking asshole. Fucking asshole.
That's her driving in
I
Idaho
don't remember where
after,
that button is.
after the
That's
native
bullshit.
Native Americans come in.
God damn it.
There she's
Fucking asshole.
See, we called it. Those were live reactions to the Native Americans moving into Donna's Idaho town.
Man, I watched this video last night of bed bugs and German cockroaches. I don't know why. I just it was just on my phone. I just scrolled across it. And there's this guy who's he'll come to your house for free if it's real bad because
Yeah.
it's his YouTube channel.
And
You know, and he wants to go explore all the bugs and
he
stuff.
wants to see the worst ones possible for
Yeah,
his
and
YouTube
he goes
channel,
in there and it's just oh my God, I could not sleep last night for the first 30 minutes. I ended up falling asleep pretty quick, but for the first 30 minutes I was just felt like I was covered in bugs after watching it, and I didn't know bed bugs were just because how hard people are if you get bed bugs you'll never get them out is what I've always heard. So I always thought they were teeny tiny, microscopic, little you could barely see that are all in your covers and stuff.
It's like a tick or something.
No, they're pretty big, They're half the size of a German cockroach. I was oh my God.
Yeah, I always thought they were smaller.
Those are I think those are big bed bugs that they're showing you.
Industrial,
I don't think they were that big.
GMO bed bugs.
Decent size, and then it was just all the pictures on the wall. It was what got me. That ClusterF show sign right there. He'd take it off, and there'd just be hundreds of them under it. Just go fucking everywhere. It was crazy.
People live there.
It was. I think the person had a mental health disorder. But man, it was
that creeps me out. Seeing bugs if there were bugs all over the wall, I couldn't even imagine staying in the house, let alone sleeping.
One of the best commercials I've ever seen. It was one of them Raid commercials, but you're watching it and all of a sudden a cockroach went, and it looked like a cockroach was actually going across your TV screen. I was one of the coolest commercials. I was holy shit!
I think they got everybody the first time. Yeah. The first time I think I can remember watching that going, what? And then you're it's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's take a quick break. And we'll come up and wrap the show. And Mike and Jerry coming up at 11. And don't forget Ned in Your Head tomorrow at 7:45.
Thank you for calling the Office of Attorney General Pam Bondi, Citizen Services. If you would like to file a price gouging complaint, please press 1.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I need to speak to El Chapo.
Citizen Services, you have a price gouging complaint?
Yeah, I'm down here in Immokalee, and it's pretty bad. I went to the local convenience store, and Haji said a case of water was going to cost me a hand job. And let me tell you, a case of water is normally about $5, and I have never given anybody a hand job for less than $20. It's crazy what's going on down here. Hello?
I don't know if this is the right place for you to call, sir.
Well, look, dude, this guy is preying on the unfortunate after a hurricane. He told my sister a case of beer would cost her a fingering.
Sir,
What?
I don't know what I can do here.
Never mind, that's probably not price gouging anyway. She usually gives those away for free. She's a whore.
Thank you for calling the Office of Attorney General Pam.
Citizen Services, do you have a price gouging complaint?
Yeah, I'm down here in Immokalee, and the only place open was this place I'd never been to before called Starbucks. and they charged me $8.62 for a motherfucking large coffee. They're just gouging the shit out of people down here. No, it's real funny for you, sitting in your air-conditioned office. I'm even getting gouged for toilet paper.
Sir.
I couldn't even afford a roll. I ended up having to wipe my ass with a Make America Great Again t-shirt.
Sir.
And it gave me a horrible rash all over my anus. I think it was made in Bangladesh.
Thank you for calling the Office of Attorney.
Citizen Services, do you have a price gouging complaint?
Lord, do I? The glory hole I regularly go to says they're going to charge me an extra $5 because I had to raise all the glory holes because of the storm surge. And
Sir, can I ask who's calling?
My name's Ned. I told him give the guy on the other side a snorkel. I ain't paying
Ned,
five.
Ned.
Sir, I'm trying to give my.
We have a lot of people that need help here.
I need help. I'm trying to register my
You're wasting our
complaint.
time.
Well, I got nothing but time, sir. I'm down here in Immokalee. I got no power. I got to sleep outside in a hammock, nude. Mosquitoes are just biting the shit out of my testicles.
Well, that is not my problem.
And let me tell you, I had a Block O vagina on layaway at the adult novelty store. All of a sudden, Hurricane Irma comes through, and he triples the price. Hello?
Thank you for calling the
Citizen Services, do you have a price gouging complaint?
Yeah. My wife works at the Pasco Pussycat, and she usually makes about $50 a...
Ned.
Yeah.
I remember you just called. I told you we have a lot of complaints here, and you are wasting my time.
Well, look, I realize that you're a millennial, and you're probably sitting there jacking your dick to red tube, but I got real fucking serious complaints here, boy. Look, while the cat's got your tongue, as I was saying, my wife works at the Pasco Pussycat, and she makes about $50 a night picking up quarters with her pussy. And it's pretty cool. I can send you a link to her webcam if you want it. But,
Ned.
Look, as I was saying, since the power's been out, she's having to strip by candlelight, and she can't see what she's picking up. And her asshole customers are throwing all kind of shit up on stage, like Canadian quarters and Chuck E. Cheese tokens, checkers, Oreos. Last night she came home with a Finding Nemo DVD lost halfway up her cooter. Does this fall in...
Ned.
Yeah. Can you help me, sir?
You're just wasting our time.
Look, dude, I realize you got pressing matters like posting pictures of your chimichangas on Snapchat, but I got real-world problems, you fucking millennial cocksucker.
Don't call this fucking number.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you get back to sucking dick. Fucking twink.
Asshole.
Hey, what's up? It's Ned. And it's time for another Neditorial. That's where I talk common sense and rational thoughts to you people. But instead of saying, wow, or, woo, all you hear coming out of my mouth is, because you're more concerned about getting an update on Kim Kardashian's disgusting fat ass than anything I got to say. But I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. Here we go. Did you hear the news? There's water on Mars. Water on Mars. Whoop-dee-f***ing-doo. Why are we supposed to give a shit about water on Mars? Mars is a frozen wasteland bombarded by deadly radiation 24/7, and the average temperature is minus 67 degrees. Minus 67 degrees. You can't even get anybody to live in North Dakota, and its annual temperature is about 100 degrees more. So I don't care if there's water on Mars, or whiskey on Neptune, or tacos on Jupiter. We ain't never going to be able to live on those shitholes. So who cares? Why do we have to spend billions of dollars to send a manned mission to Mars? Just so a bunch of nerds can get tiny little nerd bars. What's the point? What are we going to do? Colonize Mars so we've got a place to go when we totally destroy this planet? That's so typically human. Let's not try to save this incredible, magnificent, beautiful world we live on now. Let's just throw 3 keggers until we've completely destroyed it, and then move to Mars, which is the galaxy's equivalent to living under an overpass. So I say we need to stop pretending to be Luke Skywalker and quit flushing billions of dollars down a black hole, and instead pay the brainiacs at NASA to get us off of oil, or stop global warming, or cure my HPV. I mean, cure HPV. And you can take your Martian water and shove it up your ass. Night out.
Welcome back to Cluster F. Mike and Jerry coming up in just a little bit, 11 o'clock. Don't forget, Ned in Your Head tomorrow morning, 7:45. Matt and Mike, The Hang, up on Spotify, YouTube, and Twitch as well. Jam-packed with crap. I don't know, bar show. I don't know if we're doing a bar show. It crept up on us.
Yeah.
We'll have
I don't
to
think John can come.
We'll have to discuss that. Yeah, I was going to do the story about Piers Morgan reveals the names of the royals exposed in bombshell book for asking troubling questions about Archie's skin color.
I'm going on Trace's team for this one.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
What? You want me? Am I supposed to say something about that, or?
I mean, I don't even know if it's even racial. If you're, like some Caucasian people are dark skinned. Have darker skin. My dad had fairly dark skin, and I don't think it would be out of the question when he had sex with my lily white mother's skin to think, I wonder what if the kids' complexion they're going to be.
I don't know if I'm a racist. If my daughter married a black guy and I was like, and she's having a baby and wondering, I wonder what color it's going to come out. I think that's just a normal. I think that's just a normal question. I don't.
Who's they saying?
And the royals, they're outing the royals about. It says in the books that two of the royals took part in troubling conversations surrounding her and Harry's then unborn son.
Well, I'd venture to say that they're racist.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are.
They're probably racist, but I wouldn't say across the board it's racist to talk about that. You could just talk about it normally in a family. And, I wonder what color. Even the parents probably say the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I just think that's a normal question. When you see a couple like that, you go, well, I'll take it one. If you see a girl with a normal nose and a guy with like a really big giant nose,
yeah,
and the girl gets funny, like, gee, I hope she doesn't get his nose. I hope the baby don't get his nose. Yeah. I mean, what is that? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just because it's a crapshoot. You have no idea who the baby's going to take out. The mother or father. So it's just like somebody would say, I wonder what the baby's going to look like.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a big deal, but everything's a big deal now, and everything's got to. I mean, it's a scandal, and it's troubling, and it's like
the naming, royal naming scandal.
Of course, as Donna said, if there's anybody who's racist in the world, it's this fucking guy right there. That guy's as racist as they come, and I can guarantee it.
Nobody beats the Wiz. I mean, if you're running around with a crown on your head,
please.
I mean, I don't even think you have to be. You have no idea what racism is. I don't even know if he knows what racism is.
I don't think he knows if he's ever met a black person.
Yeah, exactly.
They keep him. They keep them away from him.
You just saw his first black person. That's why he's squinting like that. What is that?
Nobody beats the Wiz.
It's just like a cartoon.
Isn't that
outfit he's wearing, like a Halloween costume?
It's like preposterous. it's embarrassing that human beings go along with this. Helicopter. Quit talking about the king and the government. It's like that actually somebody wears his outfit and he's like he's better than everybody.
It's the same as the Pope and all them with dressing up in all their capes and their jewels all over it, and it's like, what is up with you guys?
Yeah, we know what's up with those guys.
Yeah, we know what's up with them, but he's got the same type of. I mean, with his crown, it's like, give me a break.
If you were the king, would you dress up like that?
I'd be walking around naked. I'd be like, screw all y'all. Naked and fat. I'd be naked and fat, just chewing on steaks all day long.
Not a bad life.
Oh, I Googled the wrong thing.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the Vatican Royal Guards. And they're...
What a bunch of goofs, man! Like that, you can't take if you're battling these people. You can't take them
like
serious.
A court jester.
I mean,
is that what that's called?
Who's designing these outfits?
The Joker.
Not a heterosexual. That's all That's all I'm saying.
If I'm a soldier for a country, and I've got me and 4 of my buddies that are also soldiers, and we see this army of 50 of them coming, I think we'd be like, I think we got this. It's 50 on 4, but I think we're easily gonna defeat them.
I think you're so busy laughing they kick your ass. Look, they got helmets like they're gonna do battle.
What a waste of
and
money.
muskets with knives on them. Like
we must protect the pedophile fortress.
One guy with an AR-15's defeating this entire army,
mowing them all down. Yeah, the Vatican Royal Guard or whatever they're called.
I'll tell you what they're called.
Please don't.
Oh man.
How do we get on the Vatican Guard?
I don't know. Are you
talking about the king?
King of his crown of jewels in his robe.
Yes.
Who in this room is like a Publix shopper or a Winn-Dixie shopper or a Walmart shopper?
Yeah.
All of
Your
the
mom's
above.
all 3.
All of them?
Yeah.
All 3? Do you think you'd be way more of a Publix shopper if the Winn-Dixie and the Publix were to trade spots?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think
it's right up there. Man.
You know, I've been
I go to the one that's on the road that I'm on.
Yeah.
And the other one I have to go under the interstate to get to it, so I don't go there that much.
I mean, it all depends on location. Like
Yeah.
I've only been to that Publix like 5 times in my entire life because I'm going to Winn-Dixie and I'm like, should I go to Publix? And I just think about going under that interstate. And I'm like, not today.
It's the worst location ever.
I'm kind of stuck with Publix where I am now, and I'm just so pissed that I don't have a choice to go somewhere else because they're the only ones that sell Boar's Head cold cuts, I guess. Winn-Dixie doesn't, I guess.
Yeah.
And so Luann's locked into this Boar's Head thing, and I am
good.
too.
It's
but
good.
They piss me off so bad that I would eat anything else if I had an option.
Winn-Dixie has Dietz and Watson. That's
Yeah,
very comparable to
I would
Boar's Head.
eat that. I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with that. But but Publix, I mean, they take it out and they slice it and then they wrap it up and put it back, and the next guy wants the same ham, and they got to unwrap it and take it out
For the sandwiches?
Well, the sandwiches are the meat is pre-cut, but if you want to go in and buy half a pound of ham or something, it's just so freaking. And there's 18 people back there going, "We'll be right with you. We'll be right with you." And no, I don't know what they're cleaning machines, they're doing this, wrapping shit up. Nobody's cutting meat. I mean.
Well, let me tell you,
the sandwich line. It's just like you can go to Publix to get a sandwich, and you'll be the third in line, and you'll be like, all right, this should take me 10 minutes.
Yeah, no
and
way.
Like 30 minutes later, you're like,
No
it's not
way.
even my turn yet. Like, what are they doing? And they ran out of this meat. They got the one with 3 different meats in it, and they run out of that meat pre-cut. And so they go slice one order of it, like you said, wrap everything up, put it back, and the next guy comes and orders the same fucking sandwich.
They actually forced me to get their app so I can order a sandwich online.
Yeah.
Because like he says, you walk in and you go, oh, there's only 2 people ahead of me. Half hour later, there's only 1 person ahead of you. You're still waiting. And God forbid lunch. I mean, there's 18 people online.
well, I will tell you, I get deli meat a lot, and I don't get it at Walmart because all they have is like Butterball. They don't have good deli meat. But Dietz and Watson is
Dietz and Watson was
comparable-
fine.
It's comparable to Boar's Head.
They've always been around, and they were before Boar's Head. But a lot of people are locked into that Boar's Head.
I get them both.
Yeah,
but every deli is somewhat the same,
Yeah.
so you ain't missing nothing.
And especially,
I go in there and it's like I'll stand there and go,
I hate
this is
it.
my
I
most
hate it."
hated part of coming to the grocery store is I get such anxiety standing there waiting for someone to wait on you while you're watching them doing the rotisserie chickens, and I'm like, you have to stop that when somebody's up at the counter.
Yeah.
You would think,
you have
right?
to stop that and
You would
come to the
think.
counter.
The deli people
to
are
wait on-
privileged. The workers at the
I
deli
guess
are entitled.
And then they all you can kind of see them all look at each other like, are you going to go do
Yeah,
that, or
I
do I
don't-
have to go do it?
I gotta go
You
cut
know?
meat,
Yeah. And sometimes I've sat there and I'm like, I want to just call. I want to call the store and say, could you tell them to come wait on me?
and you crazy? Are you crazy like we are? Like get sliced meat thin.
Oh, God.
I get very thin.
Yeah, okay.
Slice.
And,
It
you know,
tastes-
you ask them very thin.
To me,
the guy
it tastes better.
holds up a chunk of meat and goes, is this thin enough? And it's
Yeah.
like a quarter-inch
Yeah.
thick.
Yeah.
You know, like, no, you know.
I tell them very thin, almost shaved.
And in
Yeah.
Publix, again, pisses me off. They have the picture there. They have it like shaved, very thin,
Yeah.
and like I'll say very thin, and I'm like, did you not see the picture? Yeah, did you not see the picture? You work here.
Say almost shaved.
Yeah, I don't
See,
know,
they
like,
don't.
Very
But
thin.
they don't want to do that because.
No, because it's
It
more.
takes them longer.
Yeah, it's more slicing.
Oh, shave
Yeah.
it, man. Be
It's
here
more
all day,
slicing.
man.
I mean, that was like the easiest job as a cook. When I worked in a cook, you just sit there, you're like, and you do it slow. You're like, I'll be slicing meat all day.
Because it's
Yeah,
easy.
right, just as long as
It's
you
not like you're sawing wood.
I feel
But you
like
know, the
it
funny
tastes
thing-
better too.
Yeah, it
Sliced
does taste
very
better.
thin.
But the
I don't
funny
know
thing,
why.
like in Publix, like they have it pre-sliced for when you go in order the sandwiches.
Yeah.
They have it all sliced thin. It's sliced, but you go to the deli, it's like sliced thin. They have no
Yeah.
idea what you're talking about. You know.
It took me so many years working that slicer of like putting, you put like a bunch of tomatoes on or, onions on and slice them. And I would just time it when the slicer's coming right by and just slicing up these onions as fast as I can and these peppers, doing the meats and just going crazy. I'm like, what am I doing? Like after a couple years, I was like, I'm going to do this real slow. I'm going to be prepping all day. All day I'm going to be right here. Just,
It's in the zone.
Maybe that's the goal.
One thing I do hate about too, also the deli, is when somebody is ahead of you and they're getting, I'll take a quarter of a pound of this, and then they're like, I'll take a quarter of a pound. I'm like, just get a fucking pound. What are you getting a quarter pound for?
Can I taste the jack cheese first? You
And
got to
then
get a sense.
4 slices of cheese. I'm like, get the fuck
Yeah,
out
you
of
get
here.
it. You get it now too because everybody's doing different recipes and stuff. And like you said, 4 slices. I needed about an eighth of an inch. And I swear I seen this one day. The guy's like cutting it. She wanted like an eighth of an inch or some shit. Like, and he'd take it out and and he's just throwing the cheese away. He must have went through a half a pound of cheese before he got it right. She just kept saying no,
Yeah.
no
To me,
and he just kept tossing it away. I was like,
stand in front of the trash can.
no wonder why it's $14 a pound.
This one lady was slicing the meat for you know how with cheese sometimes they'll put a paper between each
Which I don't
slice.
understand.
I'm like, yeah, but this lady was doing it with the turkey that I was getting.
Oh, my God.
And I had to tell her, I was like, hey, you don't have to do that. I said, I don't need paper between every piece of turkey
That's a
I'm
pain in
getting.
the ass,
I
yeah.
couldn't even believe she was doing it.
I don't know why they do it with the cheese.
So it doesn't stick
I
together.
can't. After a while, I can't find the cheese. There's paper all over the place.
Yeah.
I can't find the freaking cheese.
I just ask for pickles and cheese while I'm getting my sub, and they always give it to me. Give me a little thing of pickles and cheese while I'm waiting for my sub.
What?
Really?
I'm just like, can I have some pickles and a slice of cheese? And they just give me a pickles and a slice
Man,
of
I'm
cheese.
going to try that gimmick
I'm
out.
gonna try that gimmick too.
They think he's homeless, actually. This meeting of the Deli Haters Anonymous.
I'm sure everybody hates it.
If I ever go on a diet, I'm just gonna hang out at the deli because I'll never be fed. I'll be waiting online the whole time.
I mean, last week I was up there and I was waiting, and they were, in the back fucking with the rotisserie chickens and stuff. And then some guy came up to the place where they do like macaroni salad and all that. And she finally came up and waited on him, and I was like, fucking. And it was like, it ended up some guy that I knew. So I didn't say anything because I wanted to say,
She wanted
I was
to.
fucking standing here and he just walked up and then you come up and wait on him. And I didn't want to look like a bitch, so I didn't say anything.
They actually Publix drove me into McDonald's. There's one like across the parking lot where I am, and I said I can't do this. I can't wait anymore. You're watching people fucking clean machines instead of serving. I was 18 people back there, but nobody's being served. I went to McDonald's.
And we haven't even got to the privileged people walking in front of you in the Publix parking lot.
Yeah.
It's
not even
like
get to those
they
assholes.
refuse to even look left or right. They're like, I'm at Publix, and
Try
you got
going up to the villages. Try going up to. You think
I
people?
can imagine
You think
that.
people aren't looking? Oh man, they're not looking at all up there. You just better stop and head on a swivel.
How is there not a line all the way down the road trying to get through that parking lot?
Man.
the Publix in the villages.
Yeah, it's always crowded. Always crowded.
They even got a Winn-Dixie up there. I don't think there's.
There is. It's hidden somewhere, but there is.
I don't even think I've ever been to a. The closest Publix is like 30 minutes from my house. Like,
really?
If we want to go to Publix, like that's like what we're doing today. Like, what are we? Yeah. Like, what do you want to do
Going out
today?
for
We can go to
vittles?
Publix, you know. Because if you do make the 30-minute trip to Publix, you're like, we're gonna get some fancy food today, you know, some fancy Publix food. You know, we'll spend an hour in there and walk out with $200 worth of groceries. Like, we came here for like 3 things.
That's what they count on. But that's how it was when I was growing up. You know, where I lived.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a trip into town to get groceries.
Yeah.
There was no little grocery stores anywhere.
Yeah, last time it was probably a year ago was the last time me and Lauren went to the Publix, the closest to our house, and we were debating going out to dinner. We're like, it'd be cheaper, you know, let's just go get something from Publix. This is like $115 later. We're walking out with 13 different types of seafood, like bacon rolled fucking scallops and bacon rolled jalapeno poppers.
They got me on the shrimp thing in Publix. They got the shrimp like cleaned and everything, like 10 in a packet with the sauce in it.
Oh,
where you just pick it up and Luann was picking it up for a while. And I was every day I'm like eating shrimp.
I was
I gotta
on
stop this shit.
I was eating shrimp cocktail. That's what it is, right? I was eating shrimp cocktail. That's when I first got my real bad gout attack.
Yeah.
I was eating shrimp almost every day. And I was like, shrimp's not too bad for you. I felt like I was being healthy and just eating shrimp all day, every day. Get a $5 bag at the grocery store.
I guess
the small ones.
It's probably fairly healthy unless you got gout.
Yeah.
Then it's not healthy at all.
The sauce
I don't
was good.
even want to know how much you spent at Walmart yesterday, babe.
All of
Do
it.
I- was
All of it.
Was it a lot?
All the money.
Was
Everything.
it a lot?
It wasn't the normal in the $500
Oh, my
range,
God.
but I tried to hold back a little bit.
It's ridiculous.
Like you guys were saying before,
Ridiculous.
you better like what was it, chicken necks, the turkey necks you're giving the dogs? It's cheaper than the treats. They are. Like Luann's like constantly buying, and I'm like, fuck, it's like $10 for a little bag.
For like a little foil bag.
Yeah. And I'm like, are you shitting me? I'm like, let them go out in the backyard and eat grass.
Those turkey necks it's a whole big package, and it was like $6 something. That's way cheaper than
Oh, and they can gnaw on
That's
those.
probably better.
They can gnaw on those. Oh, I guarantee it's way better for them. Way better.
I mean, you go in the ramen noodle section at the grocery store, and there's some of the things you can get for like 99 cents. And then I went to get my dog food, and the cheapest thing was like $1.75. I'm like, how's human food way cheaper than dog food?
Yeah, exactly.
And I was looking at
Especially since
little.
it's all garbage.
It's trash.
It's feathers, beaks. I mean, every one of they say meat byproducts, and all that is
feathers and beaks.
Yeah, it's like just flour.
It's trash,
and
man.
Beaks and feathers and feet, and it's just awful. So how could they charge? That's the waste. That's what. Because they want to use everything from every animal. They figured out a way how to use every part of every animal, and they use that for dog food. So why? That's like the throwaway stuff. So why isn't it cheaper?
And when you got 6 dogs, and dog treats add up.
The dog treats add up, and the dog food adds up. It's like freaking.
Did you say
so
wasn't
expensive.
it? It's like $17 for a case of dog, like a 12-pack of like canned dog food.
No, it's like.
Or that was the litter?
Now.
Was that the litter you were
The
saying?
litter at Publix is $17.99
for cat litter.
It's only 11 something at Walmart,
You guys have
but
dirt in
Publix
your
is
yard,
17.
Oh, I told her. I said it's not. It's pretty soon. I'm going to be going at that sand pile, and we'll have a sandbox.
Yes, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
The cat food went way up. That case of cat food that went from. I mean, that's like $24.
We could get into it all day how expensive everything is now.
Yeah.
It's hard not to talk about.
It's crazy. $24 for.
Dollar beer, oh shucks.
Yeah, let's all go to O'Shucks after the show.
It used to be when you were poor and you got old and your Social Security wasn't enough, you'd eat cat food. You can't even do that. You can't even do that now.
No.
It's too expensive.
Why would they
cat
eat cat food? I think I'd rather eat dog food than cat food. Cat
I'm
food
not eating
smells
any.
so.
I'm going through people's garbage before I do that.
Yeah, I
That's true.
agree.
I've told the story before. Young Jerry, who's not around anymore. One time I was like, my idea was to prank him, and we're gonna make him a cat food burger.
Right.
And so Trace fired up the grill, and we get the can of cat food, and he puts it on there, and then we all walk out as it's cooking, and we all almost threw up because cat food is bad, but cooking cat food
It's so bad.
Oh,
It
it was
really
like,
smells bad.
it was so bad. We were like, we can't do this to Jerry. That's how bad it was, and we don't.
Yeah, you can do anything to anybody.
We couldn't do it. We couldn't do it.
This is so gross.
Made me want to vomit. It was so bad.
There is a new Asian place over in New Tampa. Brown Buck says, Tracy should check out the seafood at I forget how to say it. Lottie Lotte
Lottie,
Market.
Lottie.
It's on Bruceby Downs. It just opened. It was
Yeah.
a huge fanfare of them. It's like
What
an
is it?
Asian
A market or
it's
is
like
it a
an
restaurant?
Asian market.
A market.
Yeah, and he says they have all sorts of shit from fish to squid and
Oh,
reasonable
boy.
prices.
I'll hit it up.
I'm looking for some
You'll be
squid.
gapping
I'm not a squid octopus. Well, I guess I eat calamari.
Calamari.
I'm not a huge calamari fan. Lauren always gets it, and especially if I'm real hungry. For some reason, that rubbery texture and just how it is, it almost makes me a little bit nauseous right before I eat my dinner. I don't know. I can't eat calamari on an empty stomach.
Yeah, and if it's not good, if you don't get.
I don't mind it. Occasionally, I like to get it, but there's never anyone with me that likes it to get it, so I never can get it.
I can only eat it like if it's fried.
Yeah,
but I can only eat the round rubber bands. I can't eat the tentacles and stuff like that. I can't eat that.
I used to be the same, but now I think I'm more of a tentacle guy.
Yeah, exactly. I can't eat. I
don't know if I've ever seen the tentacles.
Yeah, there's little things that aren't rubber bands. And
Yeah.
some other shit. Right? Yeah.
Maybe she's never got that kind of calamari.
No.
Some places just serve the rings.
The rings, yeah.
Most places serve the little octopus part too, or the tentacles of it.
I like it when the tentacles are still moving. I'm not a huge calamari guy.
Do you eat it other than it being fried? It's always
No, I
fried,
don't.
right? Okay.
It's always fried.
Do your children eat calamari?
I can't. I think Bella might.
She eats some stuff that you wouldn't think she'd eat.
Yeah.
Harper, I think we already talked about Harper eating the wings, man. She's picking them clean.
God, I mean,
a 9-year-old just picking them clean. I was watching in horror. She's getting every little tendon. And she loves chicken wings.
I wonder where she gets it from. Yeah, we'll tear her up some chicken wings. I mean, she won't do the sauce on them yet. Sometimes she'll do buffalo on them, but she'll
a plain wing.
We'll get the extra hot sauce, and she'll still dip it in there and eat it.
He's making a mini Trace. Well, you and Lauren make good kids. You make good kids.
Well,
awesome little girl.
Hungry kids, anyway.
Yeah.
Harper got to be eating out of house and home. She eats a lot for a
She
9-year-old.
does eat a lot, man.
She ate like 7 tacos one time. I was like, what's up with that? Maybe eating 7 tacos when I was 22.
Oh, we're eating tacos tonight. Tacos in a roast, as long as I didn't leave it out last night.
Yeah, it's time for tacos again, babe.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll come back with Mike and Jerry. And don't forget Ned in Your Head tomorrow at 7:45. Also, The Hang will be up afternoon today.
Are we doing a bar show?
We better figure that out right after the show. And we'll be right back with Mike and Jerry.
You're listening to International Radio Superstars on ClusterF. Genuflection is in order.
Cluster Fantastico.
Could you find the fire security?
You find a sick lady to you too?
Huh?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yes.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes, I just called to express my concern about the public toilets in your lovely country there.
Who is that?
There's no toilet paper in them. I mean, there's not.
It's time once again for Apocalypse Ned.
This is the end, beautiful friend.
You know, I just don't get this Afghan war. America apologizing to the enemy for burning the Koran. Barack Obama saying he's sorry for U.S. soldiers killing innocent people. It's a fucking war. I didn't apologize for that kind of shit in 1969. In a real war called Vietnam.
Sergeant Ned! Sergeant Ned! What should we do with this woman?
Yeah,
She's a nun!
A nun! Bring her here! Whoops! I got a bad habit of doing that! Get it? Nun! Habit! Ha!
All of a sudden, we noticed a vehicle approaching through the middle of the village square.
Take it out!
But it's a bus full of pregnant teenagers, sir!
They got future Viet Cong in their bellies! Out of the way, Corporal Ballard!
I shredded the side of the bus with a 50 cal. And it burst into a huge fireball.
Quick! Get the marshmallows before they stop screaming!
You see, that's how war's supposed to be. Total disregard for the enemy. Like the time in 1971 when I called in an airstrike on an elderly Vietnamese double amputee having a picnic with his wife on a hill in Cam Duck. The napalm seared their flesh off instantly, and I swept up their ashes and put them in a red, white, and blue condom, which I subsequently used to sodomize a Vietnamese prostitute while dressed up like Uncle Sam.
God bless America!
So you see, I don't get these newfangled, politically correct wars and their bizarre rules of engagement. We need to get back to fighting a war the way it's supposed to be fought, like the good old days in Nam, when I was the Cambodian baby skeet shooting champion 3 years running. Ned out.
And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask.
Welcome to the Mike and Jerry Show. Been a while, man. Been a long one. It's like a month or something.
Yeah.
Been a long while.
We're on hiatus.
Sometimes hiatus are not. Sometimes it's nice to have a hiatus.
Yeah, it was
you
an
know?
actors strike. I was supporting the actors.
That's right. You know, he's a millennial who doesn't want to work anymore.
Exactly. There's no reason to work.
Like, I'll drive all that way.
Life is good when you're not working.
Just to get but you do get to learn things from Trey, so it's a trade-off.
Water being more dense than it. I mean, he pulled that out of his ass. I was like, really?
See, that's he just wasn't interested in school. He's not. He's not dumb.
No, that's what I'm saying. You like, some of the shit he comes out with. You go, why didn't you go to science class or some shit?
There's he's a perfect example of somebody who should have been channeled in a direction
Yeah.
that he's
what your education system is supposed to do.
He's a total hands-on
You know,
guy. He's totally. If you
yeah.
give him something hands-on, he'd probably be like, "Oh, it's just shop class. I can't wait to go to shop class." You know.
And not only that, but like hands-on guy with a nuclear rocket. You know, because he likes that shit. You know, so like
We've always said he's a regular Elon Musk. He's
but it just he's just another number. You know, he got a passing grade, move him on.
Yeah,
know?
it's like it's a tragedy. It's like so many people who get stuck in jobs just because they never, they weren't guided, in the right direction. You know, it's what, and we spend all this money on education in the Department of Education, billions upon billions, and we can't figure out that we should figure out what kids' skills and likes are and channel them in that direction.
Exactly.
No,
well, you know what though? You can't, because I don't know. Do they still have shop classes?
I don't know. I'm sure they do some. I'm sure they have some shop. I don't think nearly like every high school had a shop class.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if that's the case
like
anymore.
In middle school. We were like junior high school. We were
not down here. No.
We were in middle school, which middle school was 7, 8, 9 up in New York.
Yeah.
And you had wood, electricity, printing.
Wow.
There was the shit with the clay. You know, you make shit with the clay and stuff.
Pottery?
Yeah, but they called it something else.
Yeah.
You know,
glass blowing?
Yeah. No glass blowing. But yeah, I mean, you had electric, you had carpentry. I mean.
So you're in middle school and you're in 8th grade, and you're in carpentry class, and you're making an A, and you're like, man, I'm pretty good at this, and I like working with my hands and making this, and you become, or you go to all through high school doing your stupid science and chemistry, and then you get out of school and you work at the 7-Eleven. Exactly. Which is the better way to
That's
go?
What I'm saying. And I didn't become a carpenter, but a lot of guys, I'm sure, did, because I mean, you worked with tools. There were drills and electric drills and drill presses, and you also had hand files where you filed and you sanded and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you use carpenter tools.
That's teaching right there. That's an education.
Yeah, and same thing with the electric shop. You were running wire and stuff. I think we were working with batteries. We weren't working with 120 volts.
Yeah.
But we were working with batteries. But you were running wires and making connecting current and all that other shit. It wasn't for me, but I'm sure it was for a lot of guys.
But you probably learned something. You probably learned something though. Even though you didn't like it, you probably learned a little.
I got a great respect for electricity. Getting zapped a couple of times, but I mean, it just gives you options as opposed to, and I got nothing, against the 3 R's. I think everybody should have it, but it also gives you options of when you're going, because number one, I think college is bullshit. I think college is the biggest scam.
You are 100% correct.
College is,
you're correct.
4 years of college. Number one, you could do it probably in 2. If you didn't take like music of the '60s and
you have to take. You got to take an elective, like 2 electives every day.
Why do you have to? Why do you have to? Because this way it runs it from 2 years to 4 years, and we get more money out of you. But I mean, it's just the biggest. I mean, okay, you want to be a doctor? Yeah, I want you. Feel free to take 10 years about it. Have at it. But I mean, as far as an accountant is going and stuff like that, come on, you don't need 4 years for that. 2 years, whatever, and then whatever Wall Street or wherever you go, bank, or whatever, they're going to break you in anyway. They're going to teach you everything anyway.
Like you could have, like you go to school for 2 years, like for CPA, and then for 1 year you are like a paid intern.
Yeah, exactly.
and you're learning to make sure
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's not rocket science.
And I have a nephew,
but that it's big business. Jay.
Yeah, I
it's
have
big
a nephew,
business.
and he Wall Street kid and whatnot. But when he was in college, one of the summers he went to work with one of the firms, and like you said, an intern for the summer and stuff, and that's it. You kind of learn and bang. When he got out,
Yep.
he had a job.
That's too easy.
I mean,
that's
God
not
forbid.
going to make any money for colleges. So
No.
they figured out a way, to make money.
You gotta have them take stupid ass classes.
But I'm a perfect example. When I was started hit 12 or 13, I started making Super 8 movies with my G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
And I was making Dracula movies and dressing up in costume, getting my friends over and making Dracula movies and stuff. And I was by the tape recorder making taking things out of context in songs and making bits. And I did this. I did that up into my 20s. Doing skits.
Right.
With a video camera instead now, and not once in my entire life did anybody come up to me and ask me or tell me, it's like, well, you do this stuff. Do you think you might want to do something creative? and I lucked into what I did.
There's
when
a
I was,
high school that does that specializes in this.
I don't know,
maybe,
but what I should have done. If somebody would have recognized it, at 18, go down to a radio station and intern.
Yeah.
Because every intern I know, got a job.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you get a job in radio. You don't even have to have any experience. You just go down there, and if you just stick around and you have any kind of talent, you can worm your way into a job. But nobody ever, and I never thought of it until I was 30. I lucked into it.
Yeah.
So
that's it. And I mean, when I graduated high school, maybe 50% went to college of my generation. College wasn't a have-to type of thing.
Yeah.
You could still get jobs and stuff without it. But it's just, and even before me, you could go to work in Wall Street and, you start at the bottom. But, if you were good in math or whatever, or this and that in high school and you had a brain on you, they would see, okay, this kid's got a brain.
Yeah.
Let's move him up to the next step. And, okay, let's move him up to the next. Because you're going to do things their way anyway. You're not going to do things the way college taught you or the high school taught you. You're going to do things their way, So, college is really, it's just I went and took the class. Now, can you hire me? That's all it is.
It's like anything else and everything else. It becomes a scam. They figure out a way to corrupt it. Like when tuition went up over 800% in the last 20 years, that's no justification at all. It's just highway robbery. And the government works in concert to convince everyone needs a college education. Well, no, they don't. No, they don't.
And here's the other thing. Okay, after you've done 4 years of college, right, you have this degree. But, oh, no, I got to go get my master's degree. Well, what were you teaching me for the last 4 years that I now have to go out and get a master's degree? But now I go get my master's degree. Well, now I need to go get my doctorate. Well, all it is saying, I got a doctorate and I'm smarter than you, supposedly. That's all it means. I got a doctorate. I went to class. I did this. I did that. I'm smarter than you. That's all it means. Or a master's. I got a master's. You just have a 4-year degree. I'm smarter than you. That's all it.
That's all
we're not
it
done
is.
taking on 4 years. You're done with 4 years. You got some more money.
8.
Come on, we'll take some more.
Yeah.
You got some more money left over. We'll take it.
You want a really good job? You got 8 years.
Yeah.
You got to go 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they convince a lot of people. Man, can you imagine spending 8 years going? Oh God,
Lauren's first
that'd be a
day,
nightmare for me.
Lauren's first day of no, she wasn't in college. She pre-college was you go and you meet whoever and this and that, and she comes home. She didn't even start college yet, and she comes home and goes, "Daddy, you know what? They told me I could take 5 years. I don't have to finish in 4 years." I said, "Lauren, when you go back, ask them if they're going to pay for the 5th year because I'm not." Okay? Yeah, they'll let you take 6, 7 years as long as you keep paying.
I'm an obvious
I mean,
sales
you don't
job.
have to finish in 4. You can take 5. Yeah, sure.
6, 7.
Keep taking the money. I was like, are you shitting me? This is what they tell them. Relax. Take your time.
They got a pretty good business model going.
Yeah, take your time.
And everybody can bitch about it. And they can sucker an entire generation and put them in debt. And the government just pays off the debt when the colleges should have to pay off the debt. If the debt was so wrong, well, then it's the college's fault, right? If this debt is a scam, they scammed all these people. Why do me and you got
Exactly right.
Me and you got to pay it.
Exactly right.
The university's got all this money in their endowments. They should be paying this money.
Or the credit card company. Let me tell you something. You are a multi-billion-dollar company, and you're telling me you're going to give an 18-year-old $5,000 credit card and expect to be paid back? Really? And now I got to pay it? I'm sorry. You're still, you're in business. This is your business. Sorry, you lost $5,000, pal. What do I got to pay it back?
I mean, Trace got a credit card. He never did. He was like, he's just he just turned 31 or 32. So he got a credit card like a year ago, and he immediately maxed it out because you're young and it's free money, basically.
Exactly.
If you're somebody who lives kind of in the short term like Trace, it's just free money. I can go out to eat. It doesn't cost me anything. They're going to send me a bill.
These kids, they're going 18 years old. They go to college. You go a couple of times before she went. I went to check out the colleges, and you get to ask questions. It's like, well, can I? No, you can't call. We won't tell you anything. She's 18. She's an adult. She's on her own. If you call, we will hang up on you. We're not going to tell you anything. It's none of your business. I said, well, yeah, but I'm paying the bills.
Oh.
We don't care. She's 18. So, okay, she's now an adult, right? She's not 21. She can't drink, but she's an adult. And, again, she can't drink at 18, but we can give her unlimited credit.
Yep.
Here's $5,000. Here's $10,000. Have at it. Yeah, sure, you'll pay us back. Yeah, right. What? I mean, what? I don't know how they got away with it. There's a corruption of the government, I guess.
I mean,
MasterCard paying off somebody.
At registration day, when everybody's all together on a college campus, they got the table.
Tables, yeah.
They got the tents. They probably playing music. They're probably giving out hats.
They're giving out free shit. Exactly right. Tote bags and all sorts of things.
And hey, Jerry, would you like $5,000? 26%, and you're like, sure, and you got your hat. And then for the next 6 months, you ball, and then all of a sudden, call the thing to ask if they'll raise your limit, like a gambler.
That's the thing. Like, take this credit. No payment for the first 3 months. Oh, great! I don't even have to pay for 3 months. Even better.
Sweet.
And then the company goes, gee, they're not paying back. Well, the government will pay us back. That's fine. No, I'm the government.
Exactly. I think that Meta, which Facebook is now Meta, is being sued because they're saying they deliberately targeted teens and they know exactly how to sucker these teens to their algorithm and ruin their lives, and they did it on purpose. And so they're getting so good. See, They don't care. They don't care about your kids. They want the money. Big corporations don't care. Zuckerberg don't give a crap about your kid. He's doing MMA and on his yacht.
Here to learn. Bullshit. You're here to get into debt and have your parents pay it back.
That's America now. It's like that would have been an outrage. Like in the 70s, if Visa or MasterCard was set up, they'd be like, parents would be, you can't be doing, our kids are not responsible for this. But now it's like, I guess that's how parents.
You're not allowed to ask. You're not allowed to ask.
Parents are probably happy because they're supporting their kids anyway, and they're like, "Yeah, you get in debt. I'm not paying for all this crap anyway." And then, like you said, you can't even call them get their grades.
Yeah, you can't call. No, sorry, we can't tell you. What a fucking scam!
That's government overregulation and overreach, which they'll do in everything. You're 18. Your mom can't know your grades. Well, she's paying for it, so obviously she should know your grades. There's just can't we have a common sense judge, to toss out some of these rules?
It costs, say at state college, it costs $10,000 a year to go to this state college. It costs another $5,000 a year to stay, for room and board. $15,000, and the kid don't work. Where do you think the kid is getting the money from? No, the person giving the kid the money is not allowed to ask. Really? You're right. You're right.
I think, things. It's like one of those things. Is like, how is that even a thing? But it is, And what are you going to do about it? You call up and they say that, and you're like, well, I ain't doing nothing about it because I can't. And that's the way things are now.
Government-backed loans.
See, I went to
is there anything? Is there anything? I guess if you're a kid, it's like the best thing you ever heard. Government-backed loan. Wow, free money.
That's like that. That's so wrong. It's so wrong because I just don't understand. Because the counter argument is so right. Of I worked my way through college, or my parents, paid for my tuition, and they worked their asses off, and they're getting zero. How does anybody support that? Well, they got scammed. Well, don't be a sucker. Don't be a sucker.
They didn't get scammed. They were idiots. They're not scammed. They know exactly. They're 18 years old. They're 18 years old. They're not scammed. They didn't know what they were doing.
I mean, they don't. Yeah, because if you do the math, you get $60,000 in debt, and you've got a degree in sports management, and there's not a lot of people looking for sports management.
Yeah.
Or
even better, an art degree.
Art degree.
The art degree. I love that, the art degree. You know how many people serve me pizza with an art degree? I think just about every other person that makes pizza has an art degree.
I mean, are there any famous painters or artists that actually have an art degree? I think it's kind of one of those things where you're born with it. I don't know if you can teach art. It'd be like teaching. They have comedy school. It's like, no, you're either funny or not.
Exactly.
You can't.
Exactly. Yeah. Going to college for comedy.
Yeah.
I got a degree in comedy. Okay. Well, where's my TV program? Not funny, pal.
You know what the sad thing is? I think if they got a bunch of middle schoolers today, and we're like, okay, well, how are we gonna? What do you want to be? And they would all go, an influencer.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
And you can't have a world full of influencers. Somebody has to have a job to pay the influencer.
Yep. And that's it. And what does an influencer do? Oh, I travel around, or I wear expensive clothing, or I take a lot of selfies.
And how long? Okay, so you're one of the lucky ones. There's not really a lot of influencers making money, but you're one of the lucky ones, and you're killing it pretty good. But you're like 22 years old, and well, what are you going to be doing when you're 40? Nobody wants to go see you at the beach anymore.
Exactly. You're no longer, you're not as good looking as the new 22-year-old.
I mean, I don't think it's a career that for anybody that's going to have longevity. How long can you do that stuff?
It's like winning the lotto. You take the money, put some on the side, but you better get ready for a job. Because you spend it all, you're done.
Influencer. I hate the term.
Yeah, well, most of them just kind of fell into whatever it was.
I think so.
They just fell into some sort of niche that everybody, that's funny, and the next thing you know, they're getting paid.
Getting paid. The niche. The niche. I need a niche, Jerry.
We need a niche.
What's our niche?
We need a
niche.
We
need to think of a radical niche.
Gimmick.
Yeah. Okay, I haven't been able to think of a gimmick. I do have, we could admit that we have tendencies to being fluid and dress appropriately and wear our hair appropriately. That's the gimmick right there.
We're boring. We're boring influencers.
No, we're trans influencers. We're going to be trans influencers.
How about hetero influencers? See, we can be hetero influencers. That's a big following, right? I mean, there's still a few of us left.
That's the niche. Now that's a niche.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
We're hetero influencers.
It's now the niche.
And get the hetero channel. See, that's why. We got to open. We got to go to cable TV and get the hetero channel.
I don't think that's gonna fly.
No.
Yeah, you seeing that weird?
Yeah, no.
No, because it's just not like you couldn't you can have BET, but you couldn't have WET.
No.
No, it would. But that's America now. You see the Elon Musk deal where he the guy asked him about his advertisers and the advertising boycott of Twitter. I think it's only a 30-second clip.
Stop. You don't advertise. You don't want them to advertise? No. What do you mean? If somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But go fuck yourself. Is that fair? I hope it is. Hey, Bob. You're in the audience. Well, let me ask you then.
I kind of like a guy who has that attitude.
Well, because some of these people, they make statements and it's taken out of context, and right away everybody wants to cancel them. And especially like with this, he supposedly made an anti-Semitic statement.
I think he liked I don't even remember the post.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was anti-Semitic or not, but supposedly he liked one of those statements. So,
And again, it's just a matter of he's in the target zone, and no matter what, Susan Sarandon or whatever, she said something. She was at a Palestinian demonstration.
Yeah.
And she was for I guess ceasefire.
Yeah.
So if you were for a ceasefire, you were basically anti-Semitic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she wanted a ceasefire, and her agency, everybody canceled her. They dropped her and all that stuff. Now here's a woman that called the Pope a Nazi. She called the Pope a Nazi.
Oh yeah, she's very outspoken.
Nothing
Very outspoken.
said. People liking her and all sorts of things for that. Okay, but she calls for a ceasefire, and her agency everybody drops her. Now I could say if she said something anti-Semitic, I didn't hear it. Unless there's something out there that I didn't see. I didn't hear it.
Or if she was not supporting a ceasefire, but supporting Hamas.
If you're supporting Hamas, yeah, it's like, Hamas isn't that bad, or Hamas had a right to do this. Or have at it, have at it. But from what I've seen and from what I've read, I think, number one, her problem was just being at that Palestinian rally. But the second part was asking for a ceasefire. And it just depends on who wants you out. I think there's more Catholics in the world than there are Jewish people. I don't know. I'm just taking a wild shot.
Oh, way more.
There.
Yeah,
okay,
way more.
So,
way more.
All right. But here's somebody that said, your leader, the next thing after the Pope is Jesus Christ. The next step after, I don't know who's after the Pope. I think it's Jesus Christ, and then God. Okay? So, you just called, the number 3 person a Nazi. People laughed. People gave her likes. Not a freaking word. Not a freaking word.
Well, obviously, it seems as if there's a lot of propaganda going on by the government and the news media.
And that's why, go ahead.
Like they were going to say, stop, like the commercial is stop anti-Semitic hate.
Right.
And it's like, well, if I could find some, I would stop it. But I've never seen any in my entire life, and I haven't lately either. I think that's
again,
all.
I don't want to. I'm going to come off like anti-Jewish, even I'm not. But some of the things, like him, he obviously believes he didn't say anything anti-Semitic, and is probably taking, his belief. He doesn't believe that Jewish people should be killed or whatever. And he's telling, okay, you don't want to advertise me? Go fuck yourself. Good for you. Good for you, Elon Musk.
No,
good for you. But, some of the things like there's a commercial now that anti-Semitic violence has gone up
389% in the last few months.
Yeah. And then I think it's like 60%, 73% of Jewish people have either been a victim or witnessed a crime of violence. So that means like if one Jewish person got beat up and 10 Jewish people witnessed it, it's 11 people. You know what I'm saying?
I really
it's
don't.
wrong.
I really.
Yes, hate and violence is wrong, but you're playing with numbers here, and I don't know if you're making things. I really feel like that some of these things are making things worse.
I think they want to make some powers that be want to make it worse.
Yeah,
I think they do because
I mean, when you
there's
start skewing
I don't-
numbers and stuff.
I don't think there's like this. There's been this hidden anti-Semitism in America, just waiting to be unleashed. I don't even know a Jewish person when I see one.
Exactly.
You know, and I don't ever think about Jewish people or at all. I don't think there was any anti-Semitism. I think they're creating this false anti-Semitism.
Again, and I don't want to, it was October 7th was terrible. And yes, I agree, and it's wrong and everything like that. But again, it's sometimes it's almost like you want to be the victim so you can bitch. I know that they're not, they're a victim. And, okay, retaliate. Kick their ass. Blow them off the map. Fine. But all this stuff about, 73% here and this, I don't know if you're making things better or not.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are. See, I see like the average person, probably doesn't ever see anti-Semitism, and then when they see that, that kind of makes you go, "What are you talking about?"
And that's it. Is it like, well, if I'm Jewish and I get mugged, I got to report it. I'm Jewish, I got, or like as a Catholic, if I got mugged,
Exactly.
just a guy that got mugged. And that's the way some people like. Well, what about me? What's the percentage of people that are not Jewish, witness and victims of crime?
And you just can't trust numbers anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't trust anybody's numbers.
And maybe it's me when I look at, and I listen and I go, that's a funny little way to run up numbers. And I really don't think Jewish people have to run up numbers. Yeah, we know what they did to you. Okay, we don't have yes, we have a problem with it. We know what they did. I don't think you have to run numbers. You know what I'm saying?
No,
to try to make it.
But I think what you're saying is there's some stoking the fires.
Yeah, you're making more. Maybe you're adding to the list of people that don't like you.
I don't know what it is.
You're leaving them out.
I don't know what it is. Why? I don't know why they're doing it.
And that's what I'm saying. They're like sometimes they're like, oh, I'm a victim, and we know you're a victim, but yeah.
It's okay. Like
and I'm trying to be really careful here because somebody's going to call me something.
2 or 3 weeks ago, 800 people in I can't remember which country it was in Africa. They got butchered.
Right.
Because they're some civil war or whatever.
Exactly.
And nobody, you don't hear about it. You barely hear about it at all. So what makes those people worth less? And people are not outraged and out of their minds about the slaughter of the people in Africa. Right. It's because the media told you, don't care about that. Care about this. Yeah. So why do they want you to care so much?
What's going on in Ukraine? Like when Ukraine first started, there was supposed to be some war crimes, women getting raped and this and that. You don't hear nothing about that anymore. And
you don't hear anything about the Ukraine war anymore. They dropped it like a hot potato when it was so important to democracy.
And that's what and here's like earlier today you were talking about Rockefeller Center yesterday lighting up the Christmas tree. Have you heard before last night one demonstration that didn't get to where they wanted to get to? Okay, if they wanted to demonstrate in front of the White House or this or that or wherever they wanted to get to, they got to.
Yeah.
Okay, and they demonstrated. They wrote SWAT stickers or wrote this and hung flags or whatever this or that. NBC televising the lighting of the Christmas tree last night. There's a horde of Palestinian demonstrators. Got nowhere near the Christmas tree. They didn't get anywhere near that. Okay? Why? Because it's NBC. They're not going to have it. And they told the New York City Police Department, let the dogs hunt. Do not let them in. Take the leash off the cops. Do what they got to do. Let them do what they got to do. They got nowhere near it. All right? But feel free to burn down stores or anything else that you want. But they got nowhere near that freaking tree last night.
You think somebody's going to get near that tree between now and Christmas?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Not without a gunshot wound.
Is it heavily guarded?
Yep.
I bet it is.
Yep.
How many cops do you think they got guarding that tree?
Not only that, but they got plain clothes guys there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got
because you never see some nut job drunk just running up and jumping and climbing that tree.
He'll be tackled way before he gets there. But I mean, you think about the last month or so, all the demonstrations, pro, against, this, that, whatever, they got to wherever they wanted to go. London, they shut down the streets, they did all sorts of things. Again, pro, con, whichever way, both sides.
Yeah.
All right, wherever they wanted to go, they went. Last night they didn't. Why? NBC. That's why. Let the dogs hunt.
Yeah, I mean it's just like the BLM riots, right?
Oh,
they,
yeah, but
they
that's
were
your
allowed,
property.
They were allowed.
That's your property. That's my property.
Allowed
they don't
to
give a
happen.
shit about
yeah,
that.
they wanted. They wanted that to happen.
Yeah,
I
they
believe
don't
they
give a
wanted
shit
it to
about it.
happen.
But even if they didn't want it to happen, they wouldn't care less. That's not their property. That's not their property. And just like Fox last year, they burnt their tree. There, you know, but they went over to Fox last night. They went by it. They said, "Well, we can't get that tree. We'll go." Fox is like 2 blocks down the road there or whatever. They didn't get near it either. They surrounded that freaking tree. They won't get near it, and they're not going. Fox, I'm sure, isn't going to let that happen again.
Everybody knows that somebody's going to try to mess with the trees.
Yeah,
Everybody knows
can
that.
you imagine this stuff? This is what we're down to: burning freaking Christmas trees.
That's what the world's coming down to.
But you know, like New York City, freaking people being thrown in front of trains and this and that, and don't worry about it. We got bail reform and all this. We let them out. Yeah, go try to mess up NBC. See what happens to you. Got nowhere near it.
Would you like ever consider moving back to New York City for any reason?
Nope.
They done ruined your city, didn't they?
It's ruined. They destroyed it.
Yeah.
They destroyed it. I mean, it's
the Big Apple.
And I could get, I mean, before it went like really bad, they got into this environmental shit where everybody has to separate their garbage and stuff. Now, when you're in an apartment house, when you're in this house, yeah, you could do it.
Yeah.
But when you're in a 20-story apartment house, how many bags and the poor guy that's got to separate the garbage and this and that. But not only that, but they have like different days of pickups for different types of garbage. Every day, this was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Every day, the streets were littered with garbage bags. It wasn't like dirty, but it was just garbage. Everywhere you looked was garbage bags. Because today it's plastic pickup, tomorrow's garbage pickup, whatever. Everywhere you looked was. I was like, what is this shit? And now forget about it. It's just. You can't. I wouldn't even know how to drive up there. You have the bike lane, you got the bus lane, you got the car lane. I was like, how do you? It takes you an hour to go a mile. It was absolutely ridiculous. It's insane. And can you imagine, like, bike lane, New York City, 32 degrees. How many people are on a freaking bike?
Yeah, exactly.
How many people are on a bike?
You don't even live there, and you're this worked up.
Yeah, because they pissed me off. They ruined it. I had a lot of fun in that city.
I was going to say, it would be pretty upsetting to see your hometown that you had some great memories of,
I had a lot of fun
destroyed.
in that city, man. I worked there. I lived there. I still have family there. But they just fucking they destroyed it.
How soon before New York becomes Chicago, where every weekend 44 people are murdered and shot in the streets?
It's not there already. I mean, that's what you hear about the ones that make the news that got shot and stuff. I mean, when they go to the hospital, they have to report it to the police. But I don't know if it doesn't make the news, and I don't know. I guess they're not counting like Chicago, because there's, people, and again, people still being thrown in front of fucking trains. I mean, come on, give me a break.
I think the Villages is the place to be. It's like,
No.
I don't think, probably not a lot of crime.
None whatsoever.
Is there a big wall around the Villages?
No, man.
I think
just,
that's right. You should probably start building that now to get ready for the future.
It's just
the future.
People who worked all their life, know how to live without burning something down. I've earned to live up there. I earned it. Nobody gave me and said, Jerry, here's a house, go live in the Villages. Me and Luann worked all our lives. We earned it, okay? And I guess there's something in, when you own something, like you own this house. I mean, as opposed to people who don't own it and giving shit and say, well, they don't give a fuck and let the property go to hell and piss and shit in the front yards and whatnot.
I think it's a generational thing too. You were raised different, and you had to more of a work ethic.
Yeah,
like there's right up here on 52 in the interstate. There's a Tampa Bay Golf and Country Club. It's a big development over there. It's a golf course and everything.
Right.
And if you drive through that place, every house is immaculate with a mowed lawn, clean car. People are walking, driving golf carts. Everybody's obeying the speed limit. It's because they were brought up to be decent, hardworking people, and that's the only neighborhood you're ever going to see where everything is. There's not any bad apples,
And that's what, same thing with the Villages. You have people from all over the country living there. It's not like Florida. It's like, oh shit, there's a shitload of New Yorkers down here, and whatever. There's people from all over the country living there, and I don't want to say assimilate. But, you just kind of live together and, you go out I play golf, different people every week, and I open up my mouth and go, New York.
Yeah.
What part of New York you from? But who's from Michigan, who's from Maine, who's from Illinois, and everybody just gets along. Everybody's fine. Nobody's bitching and moaning and thinking, they should give me this or give me that. No, we're done. We worked.
Everybody's
we're done. We worked. We're having a good time.
Looking to ride it out in peace.
That's it, man. We're just there to the end, riding the last wave. That's it.
You're talking about people coming from all over the world to America. There's so much immigration. I pull up to deliver some flowers yesterday, and they got a box, and so I scrolled for the name, and the name is Patel, and I was like Patel. But there was 7 Patels. I'm like, oh man, I'm never gonna get in this place. I randomly call in Patels. Is there? Nope, nobody here like that.
Perez.
Try the next one.
Perez.
Fortunately, eventually somebody who lives there will come and open the gate for you. These gates are worthless. You just sit there
and
wait.
Like sometimes if I just pull off to the side, somebody comes in, boom, and I come in behind them.
You could be an axe murderer, Jerry.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
they're pointless. I guess it probably deters some riffraff, but somebody really wants to get in.
They get in
pretty easily.
Where I am, they take a picture of you, like every gate you go through. They have a picture of you of the driver.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody in the back seat could kill anybody they want. You don't have a picture of him.
No.
I mean, if you really want to do it, it can be done.
Some places now they have you got to call to get it, not the people's houses. You got to call this call center, and it's usually a person in India.
Yeah.
And then the person in India's got to call the person, and then they call them back. It's like, oh my god.
Yep. Yeah.
I hate them. I mean, this house is grandfathered in. This is really not part of the HOA deal, but we're behind the gate. Nothing we can do about it.
They built around you.
Nothing we can do about
it. You're like one of the people up in the Villages that didn't sell to the Villages. They just built around you.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah, no,
nice.
You got all sorts of restaurants and stuff to go to now, and music every night. For free.
Villages, here I come.
and 2 1/4 16-ounce beers.
I could use some 16-ounce beers. I've been trying to, you were talking about giving up the NFL, and I'm getting pretty close to that. And I was trying to watch the Bucks. I'm not a huge Bucks fan, but I watched them when Brady got the Super Bowl and everything.
Right.
And Trace's, so kind of watching them. I was like, so we get together, watch a couple games. I thought that'd be cool. And they're just they can't. I can't do it anymore. It's like they almost win, and then in the end, it's over. By the last 5 minutes, they're done. They never come back. They always fumble it in the last minute. Well, yeah, so if the Bucks, if they lose a couple more games, I think I'll just try to give up the whole deal.
Yeah, I've been because I'm up where I am now. I guess I get the Jacksonville Jaguars a lot. I get their game.
Yeah,
So
I think they got the best record in the league. I think
they're,
8-3,
they're
8-3.
They're up. But they got. I always liked that quarterback, and so I guess I'm kind of again being a Giant fan, looking for a team to root for. Kind of all right, I'll get behind Jacksonville because I thought like in the beginning after the Giants went down real quick, I said, well, you know what? Buffalo's in New York. I'll root for Buffalo. I think I'm like the curse of the curse of the NFL.
Yep.
Because down Buffalo sucks. So I said, all right. I've seen Jacksonville every Sunday. I said, I'll get behind this team. Well, I'll see if I can put the curse on them now.
Trevor Lawrence seems like the real deal.
Yeah, I like him. I liked him. I noticed in college that the 1 year with the championship, I was like, oh, this kid's good. And then you come out. He had a tough first year, but they built the team around him now, and he looks pretty good. We'll see what happens.
Does he still scramble a lot, use his legs? Yeah,
he can see.
He's a good athlete.
He can still run. He's a big boy too. He can take a hit. But
some of these quarterbacks you would be surprised at how big they are. Like Josh Allen for Buffalo, he's like 6'5".
And sometimes you see these guys bounce off of him.
230.
Yeah,
that's a middle linebacker.
Exactly. And sometimes you see these guys like a safety will blitz or something. They'll let him and go bump. Like the safety just goes down.
Yeah, he puts licks on people. Josh Allen. I mean, and if you've ever seen somebody who's 6'4", like 230 or 240.
Big boys.
I mean, you're like, that guy would crush me. Just crush me. He's a monster. These people, I mean, they're all physical freaks. Back when I was growing up,
the
offensive linemen would top out about 285, 290.
Yeah, I was going to say 250, 260.
Maybe even less.
In my time.
You're not going to find one under 300 pounds.
Your linebackers are 250, I think.
Yeah, every lineman. And now in the college, I'm starting to see some 400-pounders.
Yeah.
Several 400 pounds. It's insane.
And running 40 and 4'4", 400 pounds.
Imagine that guy coming at you. 450 pounds running a 4.5, 240. Get out of the way. I saw this one guy for the Gators, and he was just grabbing people. He's like 450 pounds. And he would just throw him down like ragdoll. It's getting insane. It's like an entire sport of freaks now. Like it when Fred Biletnikoff, just catch passes with his natural ability and some stickum. Do you think the quarterbacks, if you're comparing quarterbacks, from one era to the other, back in the Johnny Unitas, his receivers did not have these tacky gloves that caught almost everything that stuck to him. They were playing in 32-degree temperature with no gloves, or 5-degree temperature. So I think you got to add some.
That's what I can't get. As much as what's his name on Tampa Bay, the receiver,
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Every game
drops
right here, and he drops it. Not just every game. And I know he's going to go down as one of the greatest receivers of all time and all that shit. But I'm like, really? Really? I mean, come on. And I remember these guys.
But he's got.
I remember like Joe Willie and a few other. They used to throw bullets. I mean, Namath used to throw a bullet. And a few other guys used to throw. These guys are just. They're not soft passes, but they're not by no means hard passes.
I used to throw the ball harder in my day.
Yeah, I mean every game and so do a lot of other receivers, but I'm picking on Evans because I see him every week. And I'm like, really? What the fuck? I mean, come on.
Gollum69 says, our 14-year-old football team had 2 6'4", 240-pound linemen. That's 14 years old. These kids are going to be monsters.
Yeah. Damn.
Sean Raz says, fuck you, Mike. Eagles are 10-1. Did I say something about the Eagles?
Oh, no, you said Jacksonville has the best team.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Best record.
Yeah. I don't like the Eagles coach. You look like a prick.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't like Eagles fans either.
You know who I don't
Fuck
like?
Philly.
Like Miami's coach for some. I don't like, and I disagree with a lot of calls.
He's a real egghead.
He makes some really dumbass calls. To me, I don't know. He makes some real dumbass calls. I mean, they're in first place in the East, I think. But I mean,
But that's because the East sucks.
Yeah, they got the Jets in New England now.
Yep.
You know, but Buffalo. You know,
The
but
500 league almost.
Yeah, but I don't know. To me, he doesn't. He looks like a Poindexter or something. Like he should be.
Oh, he's a definite Poindexter.
You know, he should be somewhere. You know, working on a computer somewhere or some shit. You know. And he dresses like a nerd too. He just doesn't. I don't know. He just doesn't. He's not my. You know, if you put up 10 pictures of NFL coaches, and his is what he's going to be last picked. He's going to be last picked as the NFL coach.
I guess we'll see how far he goes this year. That'll. You know,
I mean, me saying he's an idiot doesn't make him an idiot.
Yeah, I think his players like him.
You know, but.
Berlin likes him. She thinks he's funny, so he's appealing to the younger generation.
Yeah, maybe that's it. You know, he probably has a following or some shit. Who knows? Probably gets 500 likes or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, the combination of the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, with the bad referees calls, it almost seemed like it's just totally fixing the game in some of these games. And the quarterback hits. Like I'm really finally thinking, I'll go college for a while, and eventually I'll just abandon the whole thing because they're just ruining it.
I don't know how. Like, you pay $500 to go see this shit. You know, I mean, to go see shit. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're watching like a Giants against the Jets, say, I mean, and you're paying $1,000 for a seat, you know, or okay, perfect example. Last week, Giants against New England. 13-10 or whatever it was, 13-7 was the final score.
Yep.
I mean, that had to be a snooze fest. And plus, you paid $1,000 for the seat. Are you shitting me? I mean, come on. I don't get it. I don't know.
The Bucks, I saw him heard him advertising the Carolina game. So that's the first one I've heard because the Bucks are losing and Carolina sucks.
They got a shot.
So people aren't buying tickets, I guess.
But yeah, and that's the Bucks got a shot at winning in that game. So that's it.
Donna, for out of curiosity, because I don't really I'm not a huge Gators fan, but I was like, Donna, look up the Gators season tickets prices. I'm curious to see what those are, and they weren't like if you get like a decent mid-level seat, average seat, it was like $3,000. No, it was like $780 something a ticket, and you had to pledge $3,000 to the boosters. I was like, what are you talking about? And the stadium's packed. And it goes down as the higher up you go, you don't have to give as much. But even the lowest ticket, you still got to give $50 to the boosters. And it's like, that's...
My future son-in-law is a Gator, and we were watching the game. And he kind of figured they were going to lose, but they were in it for a while.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. And so somebody was there, and they're like, you know, and he's talking about a Gator. He's a Gator and this and that. And he's like, well, why don't you take Lauren to one of the games? He says, they suck. You think I'm going to take her to a game when they suck? He says, if they're good, maybe. Then I go see a good game. But right now, they suck. I'm not spending all that money to go see. You know, and I'm like, yeah, you can't argue with them.
No way. I mean, and if they suck next year, this will be might be the fourth coach of 3 years or 2 years of suckness. I mean, that they're digging themselves a big hole because they can't get the right guy. They can't get the right guy.
The recruiting gets a little tougher because, would you like to come to UF? What's your record? No, maybe not. I'll wait. I'll wait to see if a better offer first.
I'll go down the street to FSU and play for the national championship next year. Yeah,
I'll wait for a better offer. Miami's calling, I think. Hold on. You know, some shit, you know?
I mean, if you go to a college football game that's like a big-time matchup, I mean, it is electric.
That's why I wanted the Ohio-Michigan game. You know, I'm not a college.
I get chills thinking of that.
But I got to, fuck this. I'm not playing 18. I'm playing 9 holes. I got to get home and watch this game. You know, this is a good game.
When I was like 19, my brother-in-law took me to see the Auburn-Florida game.
Yeah.
And it was like a last-second victory, and it was just like the mania, and it was like, it's so exciting. Yeah. It's different than pro.
Yeah, college games are,
the passion is much more.
Yeah, you're right, more passion. And you're going to lose that because, now these kids are getting paid.
Getting paid in the
transfer
transfer portal,
that.
getting paid.
You know, there's no
yeah.
school spirit and this and that.
High
He
sc-
may leave this year and go somewhere else.
High school football's getting out of hand, Jerry.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, they're like playing they're playing like NFL stadiums and.
Let me tell you something.
Some of these
the next time you come up, I didn't go inside, but the grounds up in the villages, they built a high school, middle school,
Yeah.
grammar school, preschool. I didn't even get inside. I just went around the grounds. Made me want to go back to school. I want to go. The football field is stuff that they use in the
turf,
NFL.
yeah, the good
Some
turf,
kind of stuff.
the good turf.
You know how the colleges, like FSU has this, like their practice field, and they have offices, I guess, in the back of the stadium. That there's the coaches' offices to where they can look down at the practice field.
Yeah.
That's what this high school has. There's a high school field, and then the stadium goes up, and then behind, on back of that is like offices, and then behind that is the practice field where they can look down. The high school, the coaches can look down. Are you shitting me? There must be, I don't know how many soccer fields, baseball fields, this, that. I was like, are you shitting me? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And they suck. But you know what? They won't suck for long. They'll get some coach in there and go, look at this facility.
Trace played up in the villages years ago for his high school team, and it was super. The high school was so nice. You know, it's brand new.
Yeah. And now this is the second one.
That's the only way you can have a good society. Is the villages is like a self-contained small group of responsible people, and you have an entire area that's good and good schools and everything.
And here's the other thing that goes along with that. It's a charter school. You have to either be in the villages or work for the villages for your kid to go there. But here's the other thing. You're surrounded by a bunch of old people with nothing better to do. Guess what? Who wants to volunteer? They got they got a shitload of boosters. They got a shitload. You can't believe how many people they got helping out there. You cannot believe it. It's like, so like I said, like you said, you get a school, it needs some support and, here you go. You got teachers, you got the outside, you got the community helping out. Everybody's involved in this school. Everybody from preschool to high school, they're involved. And I swear to God, they have an entertainment center, an arts, like, how Wesley Chapel has like a theater.
Yeah.
This thing is like Lincoln Center. This thing is like way bigger than that. And it's like, are you shitting me? I swear, I think NASA's got like a hidden launch pad back there somewhere. They just, it's just so modern and so tech savvy. It's unbelievable. But like you said, the community's involved.
Community.
And not just football. Girls soccer, guys soccer, baseball, this, that, volunteers, this, that, whatever they need. You got 100,000 old people. Yeah, I'll help. Not a problem.
I think you need to secede from the union.
Yeah, and that's the other, and who's helping? Not that some judge put on probation and says, well, you got to do community service. You have people who work their whole living and now are going to come and say, all right, Johnny, let's do it this way. Or, all right, Mary, let's do it that way, or whatever. Or listen to your coach, or whatever, instead of saying, you can make a lot more by being an influencer.
Jerry, the show is over, and we didn't talk about politics the entire time.
I got that.
That was kind of fun.
It was fun.
Kind of fun. I don't know. I didn't intentionally make it go that way. It just didn't go that way.
We're more than what the people think we are, Mike.
That's right.
We are more than just two political.
We're deep. We're deep human beings.
We're a lot deeper than what people think we are.
All right, man. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget Ned in Your Head tomorrow, 6:45. I have to talk about the bar show, mate, whether we're going to do one or not.